Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Mountains of Madness, episode 14, I believe? We're getting there. We've explored a lot, we've experienced a lot, and yet we've barely scratched the surface. So, today we're going to go around, we're going to say who we are, who we'll be playing, and then we'll do a little recap of what happened last week. So let's start off with Crumpler, because unfortunately Renee will not be with us this week as she's moving. So, she will be back with us next week, however. But yes, Crumpler, how are you and who will you be playing today?
I'm doing good. And again, I am Crumpler64. I am playing the character Baxter Wiggins, artist that is hired to be the cartographer. And I honestly don't know how to feel because I missed last episode, so I guess I will find out.
Yes, some trippy stuff happened, but don't worry, you didn't miss the bulk of the trippy stuff. That is yet to come. Speaking of trippy stuff, we've got Jimmersion. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, definitely tripping out this episode. Hey, thanks for everyone for showing up here. I am Jimmersion, aka Jim Moreno. I am Hunter Merrill here on our adventure today. The survivalist, outdoorsman, and I'm locked and loaded. We are deep in the city of the ancient city of death here, so you know it's all good times from now on. So sit back and enjoy the ride.
Good times. Nothing else but good times. So, we also have with us today the lovely Jess. It's always a good time.
Hey! Yes, I am Jess, Little Cup of Joe. Sometimes Joe, if there are too many Jesses in the room. I'm playing Lena Stoddard, the resident archaeologist who is a little bit cross right now because some creepy flying whatevers definitely kidnapped her friend. I'm sure this will be fine.
It'll be perfectly fine. What could go wrong? Speaking of perfectly fine, we've got hey, get out of your face out of my chocolate mouth. Sorry. We've got Pro Restarter and a very mischievous kitten. She looks
She looks happy.
See, I for sure you were gonna say, speaking of creepy, and then swipe to me. So
I got distracted by the cat. You're welcome.
I'm pleasantly surprised. But yeah, hey, I am Pro Starter. I play Hayden Stewart, the reluctant ace pilot extraordinaire who can fly in anything.
And solo. He doesn't need a co-pilot. Whatever.
No.
Speaking of extraordinaire, we've got Sebastian Wintercroft, Hollowtail. We got Hollow. Hey, Hollow, how you doing? You're also muted. I'm gonna take it as you're going insane, but you're having a fun time, and all that good stuff. So, he's refreshing. I'll start to go with our sponsors today. We are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. Is he back? Can he speak?
I think I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. All right. Tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Yeah, I'm Hollowtail, and I'm playing Sebastian Wintercroft, our psychiatrist. And I can speak now. Sanity's coming back. It's coming. Silence.
Yeah. Great. But yes, Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. We'll be rolling on that today. Also, for your in-person tabletop games, you should definitely check out waylandgames.co.uk. They've got all sorts of terrain and minis for Warcraft, D&D, Warhammer 40k. I know, I'm not out of it today at all. I'm drinking caffeine. But anyways, we've also got Tabletop Loot. They are awesome. They are our sponsors. For every 20 retweets we get, we'll be giving away a lovely set of Tabletop Loot dice. So definitely check out the retweet. And lastly, I suppose, let's just get on with what happened last week. So last week, our lovely adventurers had been, exploring some stuff. And then they stumbled upon, they had a meeting. They ate seal, and they didn't catch penguin. They caught a seal, and they cooked it up. And some people had a bit of problems with that. They all had weird dreams. And then Mr. Starkweather and their companion Lois kind of got abducted by elder things and started flying off further in to the mountain range. It's, You don't think they went willingly, since you heard a lot of muffled cries for assumed help. But you guys chased him in the plane after heating up the engine, caught up, met up with the bell midair, and you kind of did some like pilot sign saying, "Hey, let's keep going." And they experienced a bit of a time slip as they were landing the plane, in which they all lost a bit of sanity as reality and time appeared to distort around them just for a moment as they flew towards this tower with a flickering blue light on the top, surrounded by dark, swirling clouds. They were able to land in a nearby riverbed, and that is pretty much where we left off from last week. So, a lot of action, not a lot of investigation happened last week. But let's resume right there, where you guys have just landed the plane. The Enderby, the bell is about 20 yards off your right as they landed. And it seemed to have kind of wrecked their landing gear a bit as you all experienced that time slip while en route to land, and they didn't seem to cope with it as well as Hayden did. So, yeah, they look pretty rough in the landing. They're starting to come out of their plane. Just open the door, kind of. The pilot's hopped out and is looking at the underside for the landing gear. Well, what do you all do? You have just landed as well. Much smoother. You didn't take any damage or anything. You guys did great.
Did we see where, because wasn't Lois at least dropped, or one of them got dropped in the...
Yeah.
Did we
You heard a couple
see...
pops in the distance, and you saw one of the elder things drop. And the other one, there was like 3 of them in a row. Middle one left go, and the other one fell completely and didn't move upon landing, that you could tell. And Lois also fell with it. So you saw it drop off further into the valley. But the nearest decent landing site was this riverbed, so you guys are going to have to traverse into the valley. But she is not anywhere else, as far as you know. She's just off in snow a bit. Near the western pass is where you kind of passed over.
Okay.
Is everyone all right?
Lena's climbing out of the plane and trying to get her bearings to figure out which direction to go to get to where Lois was probably dropped.
And before Hayden ever stopped the plane, Hunter had the door open, and he was just waiting for them to turn around. So as soon as it got slow enough...
During the shutdown,
he jumped out and started making a head for where the last time he saw Lois fall.
Okie dokie. So you can give me a navigation check.
Navigation. Let's see that.
Yeah. Everyone's still a little loopy from that time slip.
Nope. That doesn't succeed.
Good to go?
Yep. All right. So, Hunter, you're pretty sure you know which direction. You can start heading that way. You're gonna have to climb down a bit. Hike up to up the riverbank and then climb down into the valley. But you can start heading off in that direction for sure.
Yeah, you said we were out of the city now, right? The city is...
Yes. You're out of the city. But
the only building we see is the tower.
Mm-hmm. These oddly symmetrical 5 mountains that surround it, almost like fingers grasping around something.
Who's with us in the plane?
So, with you guys, it was Sebastian, yourself, Lena, Hunter, Baxter, and Olaf.
Okay, I'm going to turn over and I'm just going to say, Olaf.
Duh.
Do you know how to use a blowtorch?
I fixed many things with blowtorch. Helped me escape one gulag one time, too.
You know how not to fuck up an engine?
Pretty sure. Don't melt anything.
And you should just stay here with the plane. Because if we're gone for a long time, I don't want the engine to freeze over. We're running back here. We're not going to have 30 minutes.
Keep engine warm. Okay, can do.
Make sure, and I turn over to Lexington, make sure none of them try to take this plane. Theirs seem quite destroyed.
He kind of looks a little crunched in front.
Yes, wheels are broken. And,
Planes have wheels? He doesn't know much about planes. He's about dogs. Dog sleds.
I think after that, I'm going to show
don't
him
have
how
wheels
to...
either.
You're going to show him how to do it?
I'm going to show him how to do it. What I'm guessing Lexington or whatever's happening.
Yeah. They're
I'm
getting
doing.
out of their plane. It took them a minute because the door's kind of like a little crunch. They gotta like force it open. But you see that everyone except for Kyle Williams is there. You see Acacia Lexington, you see Dr. Johann, you see Priestley, the cameraman, you see Rucker, the geologist, and Bauman, the pilot or co-pilot.
Damn, yeah.
So they're only missing that one person. And they, who's next off? Because I know Hunter and Lena immediately started heading off. And Hayden's like, let me show you how to thaw out the engine because I don't need it to be frozen. What are Baxter and Sebastian up to?
I imagine Baxter is he wants to touch land as soon as possible.
Okay. Sure thing.
Maybe
Not
kiss
hard
around
to
if he really if not up to snuff right now.
Yeah, it's pretty icy frozen. You probably shouldn't. I mean,
But it's switches and ice.
It is switches and ice. You can kiss it through some snow gear. That way you don't actually let it touch your skin.
Yeah.
Don't want that lip frostbite. Sounds horrible.
Oh God.
Yeah, it just sounds awful. Just trying to help you out. What about Sebastian?
I think Sebastian will sort of, after sort of the long flight and the very, very drastic landing, will kind of stumble off and sort of hold his mouth for a moment and gip, and then just sort of put one finger up for a moment, and then stand straight again. I never want to experience such a landing again. I don't believe I am made for such things.
Then don't join the army.
Oh, certainly not.
All right. So the bell gets their door open, and they all kind of pop out, and they're like, well, Miss Lexington approaches Hayden, actually, because she's had some conversations with him before. And being a fellow pilot, she's like, we were trying to fly up to catch up with you, and I saw your plane flying in this direction. Well, look at what you discovered here. What is going on? We only recently got our plane fully operational again. Mr. Williams was able to relay the message that we had a little accident, wasn't he?
Mr. Williams was the cause of your accident.
Pardon me?
He shot one of the co-pilots and tried to destroy my plane.
Oh, good heavens. I suppose that would explain some of the difficulties we've been having lately. Ooh, when she gets her eyes narrow, you can tell she's pretty mad, but nothing I can do about it right now. Well,
What were you doing flying in this direction?
Well, we saw you flying off, and we figured, well, might as well meet up with them. Maybe we thought maybe that Mr. Williams had given you poor directions as to where we was at, because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to repair the old bell here.
So it's a good job you came. Did you see those things I pointed out?
Just barely. What? Good heaven's name was that?
Whatever it is, picked up Lois and Stormweather? What's his name? Starkweather.
Oh,
Starkweather.
She looks like, oh no, Lois, and then oh no, Starkweather. Looks like more professional concern for Starkweather and actual genuine concern for Lois. She's like, oh, well, that is dreadful, I suppose. It does indeed explain why you're out here. Well, we have to get them back. And she goes into her plane. You see she pulls out a rifle. They're not allowed to take any of us.
No. What's your party been doing? We haven't heard word of you or seen you.
Well, You see, we was flying over the range, and we got hit by a rather strange updraft, and plane couldn't quite control what was going on. We had to put her down, unfortunately, rather quickly. But when we did, it hit a few rocks and bumps, and the landing gear just completely gave out. Also had a bit of engine difficulties. I'm still not completely convinced it's fixed all the way. There was rather strange noises going on in flight, things that shouldn't be making squeaks, you know what I mean? But, Mr. Williams said he would go relay a message of potential spare parts that we would need to get fixed up in our location to see if Mr. Starkweather, Mr. Moore, would be willing to help out. We didn't hear back from him at all, and then we saw your plane flying, and we said, well, maybe we just got the directions a bit off. Mr. Bauman was able to, fortunately, repaired enough to get her off the ground.
Oh, and who's that again? Did I meet that person?
That's the co-pilot you went on a little flight around with.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, nice German pilot.
It's a good job you made it.
Indeed.
Yeah, we've been having some strange things happening. There's a city, and I'll say the distance from here, the direction.
Oh, we passed over a bit of it. It was quite magnificent.
Yes, if you didn't see our planes?
We was flying and we saw your plane. We also you can't miss the city. It's because it's 30 miles wide and 90 miles long. So it's a bit hard. You can't miss it while flying over the direction you took. But she said, I really wanted to put down and explore, but I figured it was more important to catch up with you lot.
Yes, but we should all stay together. Are your unit coming too? A group?
I believe so. How's the plane looking, Bauman? He says, as the plane is kaput, I will have to spend some time here fixing it. It's not very good, but I will do my best to fix it up to a reasonable standard. Be able to get it off again. Rocker is pretty mechanically inclined. He can assist to our heading off. And you see, he's already got a tool belt on over his parka and is starting to look at it. You can tell it's gonna need a lot of work to get that thing off.
I was gonna say, can I tell if it's fucked up or not?
Give me a mechanical repair check. Oh, yeah.
18. That's an extreme success.
Yeah. So you can tell that it's not in a good way, but a lot of it's just nothing's snapped completely. Parts aren't missing. There's just a lot of crunch. So it's gonna be a lot of just kind of heating it up and trying to bend it out, and maybe placing a couple of things but standardly kept on side the aircraft to kind of makeshift some repairs. It's repairable, but it's not in a pretty way. You can fly off with it right now, but with a few hours of work, maybe even several hours of work, depending on how competent the mechanic is, you could get it airworthy again.
All right. Well, I need to go grab my bag from my plane, so I'll catch up. I hope Hunter and Lynn haven't gone too far, and I'm going to run back to the plane.
Yeah, Olaf picked up really quick on what to do and what not to do with the blowtorch, and so he's just going to be standing back, keeping it warm.
I'm gonna grab the bag with radio, and I'm gonna bring Olaf to our side, and I'm gonna say to him, I don't trust these Germans. They came in very strangely. Take this, and I've been oiling it and making sure it hasn't been messing up. But I'm gonna take the original gun that I have, not the one I brought in Australia, and I'm making sure it's functional, and I give it to him. With some rounds, I'm gonna say if something happens, best to have this. A knife isn't.
He says, I have 3 on me. 3 knives currently.
Take the gun just in case.
Will do, and we'll keep engine warm. He kind of just pets but it's not like a pat like you do on a ship. It's more like a pet, because he's used to dogs.
She's gonna do real good. And,
keep nice and warm.
I'll head off after that.
Okay. And so Miss Lexington and Dr. Mayer and Priestley, the photographer, are gonna come with you guys. They've gotten some stuff, and they're like, yeah, we can't leave them to these things, and so they're catching up and following with you guys. So anyone who wants to catch up with Hunter and Lena can. They just have a bit of a head start. You're just gonna have to.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Definitely want to catch up. Yeah.
You guys are able to catch up. It took Hunter just a moment to get the bearings, so he's not that far ahead, as it's weirdly symmetrical inside this valley to a certain extent, so it kind of throws you off directionally to a certain extent, but you were able to figure it out. So you continue on. There is the bank of the river, essentially, that kind of leads down into the valley. You guys are going to have to make me climb rolls to climb down the rockier side, or there's a bit more icy side. That's just a luck roll to see if you can avoid slipping. So rocks or ice? You can pick which
I'll take
one
my
you
luck.
want. All right.
Can I roll a survival to see which would be the better route for all of us? Which looks
Yeah, you can roll me survival.
since I'm going to be blazing this path here. You said we're going down?
Yeah, you're going down. It's not like a steep incline, but if there's like the less inclined area is icy, so you might slip, and the more inclined area is oh no, rocky, and so you'd have to climb. It's basically, do you want a luck or climb roll? Like, there's not a better option. It's what are you better at?
All right,
You're
so
feeling lucky. You're feeling climby.
how far down is the would we be going?
Let's see. About like enough to. I don't have an exact measurement. Probably about like 30 feet.
If the ice is smooth, then we could just we'll just toboggan chain and everybody slide down.
It's not quite smooth. No, you're gonna have to pick your way through rocks and stuff sticking out of it. That's why you couldn't land here, as everything has kind of got stuff sticking up out of it.
Okay.
It's very rough.
And I'll do a roll to see that it's just safer than.
I did really well. I did super well.
I
It
failed
is
too.
so good. So, who failed at a luck or climb roll? Okay.
I grab onto Sebastian and take him with me.
That explains my luck.
I failed at climb.
Save me!
Not climb.
Friendship, why have you
Well, did you
betrayed
go down
me?
the ice or did you climb rocks? Which were you rolling for?
I failed both. Never mind.
Okay. So,
Feel both.
those who just failed, you kind of like slip and you bump something a bit, but you're okay. Hayden, however, on a fumble,
Why are you gonna do this to me, Lindy?
I didn't do it. The dice did. On a fumble, just completely like whoop, like slipping on a banana peel, but then like is still falling forward, and so you kind of just tumble down the whole ice area. And you're gonna take
That's why if you kill me.
4 damage, which is good because if it was ever, you would have broken a limb. So you didn't break anything. You're just real banged up.
I'm
But you're
super
at the bottom. Yeah.
super hurt.
I get to him. I get to him first since I was first down. And are you all right? Don't move. Just. Can you breathe? Can you feel everything?
Hayden,
All
are you
right,
fine?
He's making sense. That's good. That's good. I'm just going to do a quick first aid check just to see if he's.
Sure.
If he looks
Yeah, you give me first aid.
Can I join them on that?
Yeah, you can join. You can roll first aid as well.
Is that you, Hunter?
13?
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't see any
All right.
blood. Does it look like he's got any?
You see a lot of bruising, like a small cut, like on some of the exposed skin, like an icicle kind of like hit like his upper cheek, but
My face.
your face, I know you have like a 2-inch cut right here on your face. Oh, it's the worst.
My good side.
And
Beauty
real
scar.
bruised up. Nothing's broken though, so that's good because it could have been real bad if anything had gotten broken.
And I will. I'll help him to a sitting
You don't have
position.
much to splint with.
It's
Help
my
him up
face,
to a
okay,
seat.
Hunter?
It's my face, okay.
Hold still. I'm going to check your. I'm going to check your suit. Make sure his suit doesn't have any tears or holes.
He's got like a couple minor nicks in it, but it's more like snags. So it's not like busted through and stuffing's
Right.
falling out. It's just snags. Mostly,
Feel
it
my
just seemed like
face.
he bounced a lot, down the hill.
Good.
And
How?
real bruised up. Bounced off
Right.
a lot of rocks. It was like a pinball machine. Just
Can you stand?
I think so.
Okay,
My
get up.
face.
Stand up.
I'm hideous.
Doc.
Oh, with the successful first aid check too, you get 1 HP back.
Oh, nice.
Stop.
Yeah. Thank you.
Think you muted there, Hollow, again.
Oh no. It's okay. Yes, your face. It's ruined forever. One slight
See-
scratch. That.
Is it Pat by any chance?
There you go.
Great. Sorry about that.
That sound of him.
The doctor sort of snaps out of his momentary haze and looks over. Yes? Oh, Hayden.
Take him. I want to make sure everyone else gets down the hill safe.
Of course, of course.
Mhm. Everyone
I'll-
else does it. There's a couple slips, but no injuries.
Okay.
I hate rock climbing.
Can I head over and have a check over Hayden? Just make sure everything's
Yeah.
A-okay.
If you give him a full, once over, just, take about 15 minutes or so to give him a full, rather than just immediate first aid, nothing's broken. You can be medicine check.
Yeah.
And of course, put a band-aid on his cut on his face.
If anything, that's what Baxter's done.
The money
Yes,
maker.
Okay, that's
important.
pass.
Pass? Alright. You get 1 more HP back, Hayden.
There you go. Your face will be fine.
You see tears welling up in my eyes.
Place the band-aid over the top of your nose.
Of all the things to be worried about.
You'll be fine.
All right,
We'll
as soon
get
as
through
this,
this.
Little hatching on his cheek and the band-aid on his nose.
just go to Lois.
It really is a dire situation.
Listen, let's just go.
Hunter's already walking in the direction of Lois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
Lena's following behind.
Yeah. Now that I've checked out Hayden,
She does not have
Get
time
me.
for Hayden's vanity.
Not right now.
So as you guys kind of walk across this valley, it's massive. I mean, the tower itself is 165 yards high and 65 yards across, and it's 5-sided. So, big old tower. And the valley is large compared to that. So it takes you guys a while. And again, the tower, it looks flawless, except as you get further across the valley, you see that there's a large breach near the top with a crack jutting downwards, and there are no doors or windows that you can see except for a ramp that leads inwards from the front. But you guys are passing that, as you know. Lois is past this, and as you guys kind of get further in to the valley, still you notice it's kind of, you don't even have to spot hiddenness. It's very obvious. There's several sled trails that seem to go off in different directions. Looks pretty well traversed here. You see also odd triangular-shaped footprints that reminds those of you who would paid a visit to the dissection tent of those creatures.
Just sleds, no obvious dog prints.
You don't see any dog prints. It's you just see those triangle tracks with sled tracks, big sled tracks.
I think Sebastian would take a look at them and just sort of go, and people said I was crazy for believing they may come back alive. Just under his breath.
I'll owe you an apology later, I suppose. Let's follow these tracks.
Let's
Yes.
beware, they are incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, if they lead in the direction we saw, I last saw Lois.
They do. There's several that lead that way. There's several that lead that way. They seem to go back and forth more often. The heavier, deeper trail is in the direction of where Lois got dropped. You see other little branching off spaces, but you keep following it for a while, and you see that there is an object in the snow up ahead. It's kind of hard to see. You get closer, it's got snow and ice kind of around it, but you do see that there is it's kind of nestled against a cliff that kind of hangs out. It's a hut or a tent. It's about 7 by 8 and about 6 feet high in the center. As you get closer, it's definitely a tent-like structure. You can see it's got a rigid frame, but the sides kind of move a bit in the breeze. They appear to be made out of irregular pieces of stiff hide. You notice some seal and some penguin. Very, very intricately stitched together. And then you also see that there's also pieces of canvas kind of mixed in here and there. But the shape of it overall reminds you a lot of the tents that you excavated from the previous Miskatonic expedition.
I was just about to ask, as a structural engineer, do I recognize the
Yeah, you do. It looks a lot like that, but bigger and more different pieces stitched together. The stitching, you get there, you can almost barely see it. It's very finely done, very well crafted.
Do the tracks lead up this tent?
Yes, there's tracks leading in and out. It looks very heavily trafficked at the entrance of the tent, and it seems to go off from multiple directions. As if maybe this is the origin ending point of a lot of these sled tracks.
So
Good question.
Go ahead, Nate.
I was going to ask a question. Did Lexington and whatnot join us?
Yeah, they're following.
Okay.
They're following along. Lexington, Priestley, and Dr. Johann.
Okay.
So as soon as Hunter sees this tent, I'll unsling my rifle and load around. I'll motion for everyone to stand fast, maybe spread out just a little bit. And, Hunter knows the hand signals that I'm doing, so stay put, spread out a little bit, and I motion for my rifle. You ready? And then I will slowly walk up to this tent.
Okay. Yeah, getting closer, it definitely it's like these are made from mostly hides of seals. And that there's several leather thongs that are kind of just tied together at the front of the tent, like a tie closure. And also, you can kind of see some of the structural bottom kind of sticking out the bottom of the tent. It looks almost like some type of reedy vegetable that's been frozen solid. That's why it's so hard and like straight. Like maybe it was very flexible one time, but if you like wet it and then let it freeze, then it's perfectly durable. It kind of looks like that because it's cased in a thick coat of ice on the inside.
Do I
So
hear
you're gonna
anything?
have to give me a listen check.
Let's see. Mine is okay. Listen.
Hayden's probably going to be joining that as well, probably.
Okay, sure.
I will spend 4 luck points to make that a success.
All right, Hayden, look at him. I think that's a hard success for you.
Extreme, I think.
Nice.
I listen.
Awesome. So you guys don't hear anything. It sounds very quiet inside.
I hear the wind.
You do hear some wind, but this area is a bit more sheltered from it. You hear the...
All right, so when I hear Hayden come up,
No.
So I'll
Nothing.
motion for you to stand on the other side of this what looks like a doorway. You're ready,
Mhm.
and I'm going to take the knife out. And those thongs, how many thongs are there?
There's about 4 of them.
Right? In a line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to slice them all real quick as fast as I can.
All right.
And throw this whatever door is open.
Yeah, you can cut it through, flip open the flap. It is empty on the inside, at least mostly empty. There's no floor, but you see that the ice inside has been completely cleared of loose snow and it's been polished smooth and flat. It's very dark, but you get light from the outside as soon as you open the flap. Mostly because seal hides are real thick. So you have a faint light kind of coming through, but not much. You see that there are short, broad sleds that are about 3 feet wide and 5 feet end to end on the ground. And upon the sled are a pair of bowls or baskets. They appear to be made out of seal hide and reeds, and a pair of long-handled spades, it looks like, and a shapeless pile of garments, leathery hide garments in the corner, kind of resting in a pile.
Right? Aiden, stay on my butt. I'll go in.
You got it. And I'll join you.
Enter the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone in here?
You don't hear anything. You don't see anything move.
Nothing moves. Is there a fire source in here? Heating
There's
source?
not. There
No
is
fire pit?
not. No fire pit, no heating source. Kind of looking at the pile of leathers in the clothing, you see that they are stitched.
Was there a survival specialist in the last expedition?
I don't recall one. But that stitching doesn't look like it was done by whatever hands those creatures had. It looks human.
Yeah. I turn around and start waving with everyone.
Now I'm going to start poking around in some of the piles there. Just
Yeah. So everybody join up in the tent.
Yeah.
It's big enough for everybody to fit in easily, and it's kind of sheltered from the wind, so it actually feels kind of nice. The body heat that emanates kind of warms it up just a little bit. A little bit.
Not anymore, it's
Dr.
a flap.
Johan. Yeah. Close it. Just doesn't stay closed now because you tied the knots. But
Dexter, watch that door.
Dr. Johan kind of goes over to the pile of stitched together leathers, and it's these seem to be carefully cured seal skin. And as he kind of lifts it up, you all get a slight whiff of pungent odor, and you look that now that he's holding it up, you see that it is a 5-sided garment, about 2 feet in diameter. It almost looks like a tablecloth with the stitching around it, kind of set down, and it hangs down by a certain amount. It's got the seam all around the edge, but it's 5-sided, and it hangs down by about 2 feet on all the other sides except for one. Give me idea checks. Which is an
Ooh, I can do
intelligence
that.
roll.
Yeah.
I'm showing this off to others. I don't know much.
Very
Yeah.
finely crafted.
Does anyone recognize this?
Oh no.
Oh no, you got a 7. That's not bad.
That's like an extreme success.
Okay.
Super understand.
I
I'll pass it.
definitely understand everything about this.
I'll pass a couple of things here to Rena.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't understand.
So those of you who succeeded on looking at the garment, it kind of looks shapeless till you hold it up. You all get the idea of, hey, maybe it's some kind of cloak or something, because it's got an opening with a tie in front of it. Lena, with your extreme this is probably a hat for the heads of these creatures, as they're about 2 foot in diameter. And they all kind of have a tie at the bottom. Yeah, you'd figure this is probably a headgear to protect from the cold.
Okay.
In the wind, yeah. But that's why there's only one side open so they can see out still, because they got 5 eyes, and they just stick them out that one side.
Alright. This is going to sound completely insane, but I think this is a hat.
Looks a bit big for you, Lena.
Yeah.
No, not for us. For them.
Oh, so the creatures also understand fashion.
How the hell is that?
Apparently they understand the value of good headgear in the cold.
At this point, I would not put anything past it. Yes, that sounds about right. So, what can we glean from this? That were those who came for our allies also wearing headgear?
Certainly possible, I suppose.
Probably not much unlike the ones we're wearing now. Just a big, huge hood.
But it does tell us one thing: they're affected by cold, right?
They're also
It seemed to be the
intelligent
case.
if we're going by that logic.
Intelligent enough to use tools to fashion something that is useful.
Certainly.
Build a tent.
So how did they sew this, Doc? You saw what kind of appendages those things had. How did they do this?
Well, he'll have a look, and we'll sort of cross-reference his autopsies he did, and just kind of come to the conclusions.
Tentacles!
I believe it was with their appendages, the tentacle appendages.
Because they had really
sharp-
long ones, and then they had very small, soft ones, and they had some long, sharp ones too. So you assume probably this is the very small ones. Detailed, tactile work.
The smaller ones, they sort of did it, stitched it. The tentacles. I know this sounds insane, but that's how it happened.
You stop saying tentacles, Sebastian.
Would you prefer tentacular appendages?
Sounds cooler.
It's a made-up word, but yes.
It's semantics. In any case, we've established that they are fairly intelligent enough to use tools and apparently skilled in delicate work, it seems.
I will give you this as well, Lena, because you had an extreme success. Most of the pictures that you've seen in the rubbings of stuff has been in a very jungle climate. So this would make sense that they would want to protect themselves from the cold.
You know, in all of those rubbings and things, all of the scenery, it was all warm. It looked more like a rainforest, a jungle, or something like that. I imagine they're as used to the cold as we are.
That at least means
Perhaps
that we're
less
not.
so.
Yes, at least it means we're not at the disadvantage only. Yeah, that's
Yes.
promising.
I mean, I can't fly, but
Yeah, Hunter
They're
looks
also
around,
not quite that
Yes,
large.
there's that.
but there's no heat source in here.
Perhaps they built their
Lena's
own
gonna reach
source.
Lena's gonna reach into her pocket and pull out that star stone again and see what's
Okay.
going on with it.
You kind of put it on, like you slip it underneath your glove to kind of feel if it's warmer or not. It's about the same temperature as it was previously, just being around people rather than being around by yourself. It's a little bit warmer than it normally is, but not like beep 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 like hot like it was. Other things in the room that you guys are looking at is these bowls that appear to be made of penguin skin stitched over a reedy vegetable hoop. But again, it looks like these very thin, reedy vegetables were soaked into water and then shaped and then frozen to perform that rigidity. And they're about as wide as, your arm, like very, very wide, but only about a foot or so deep. So they're wide and shallow bowls. They have like coverings that slide over them as well. And you see that there's these shovels if I could get a archaeology or a first aid roll while looking at these shovels, I'll take either. You notice that the spades are are perfectly shaped and like identical, almost as if you just chucked them off a factory, but they're made out of slate, which doesn't make sense. But they're not terribly sharp, but they're perfect and identical, and they show no signs of being worked by other tools, just a faint like grain of modeling pitting over it. Let's see, did anybody succeed at a first aid or a archaeology check? Okay, the handles are pretty long, and it's not until you actually pick them up and are looking at them and holding them do you realize, hold on a second, I think this is bone. Look at it more, hold on a second, I think this is a femur attached to another femur. Oh! So you didn't notice before picking it up and giving it a real good look that these are made from, the handles, or the big, stick sitting on the shovel is made from human femurs, lashed together to the spade.
Doc.
Yes.
I hold out to him.
Oh,
This is
an
what
arm.
I think. This is what I think it is. Right?
He sort of goes into his bag and just quickly double checks his gloves are firmly on before he reaches out tentatively and grips it and takes a bit of a better look at it.
Yeah, it's a human femur.
This is definitely a human femur.
Oh,
Disturbing.
so
But I imagine they make use of our parts much as we make use of animals' parts. Guess the
They're not-
perspective changes things.
You're not too much unlike the. I hope I'm not disrespecting my tribe here, but I grew up around the Lakota tribes in South Dakota, so they often use tools of everything like this. And I had my knife because it's made out of bone also.
I see.
They're intelligent enough to do that. What the hell else can they do?
Well, I mean, at this point, we must at least assume they're intelligent as us, if not more.
Exactly
I
what
would wager perhaps more.
I would wager the same. Still, we need to get the rest out of there, at the very least. But I think we need to leave.
Yes, well,
I'm
yes. I kind of like say that sarcastically to both of them. But I'm also going to look towards our companions, Lexington and Hagrid.
Mhm.
What are they doing?
Yeah,
Okay,
Hunter was-
so Lexington looks unset, especially once you're like, human femur shovels. She was like, ooh. And she stepped outside like, I don't like this. Priestley has snapped a photo or two. He's got his camera with him. He has snapped like a couple pictures of the inside. With very similar looks to that of poor Francois. As you led him around the camp, making him take photos of everything. It's kind of like a grim, let's record this kind of look. And Dr. Johann seems fascinated.
And I
Seem quite fascinated, Doctor.
It is very intriguing. Why am I French? I'm German, Deutschland, yeah.
Viva la
Yes,
revolution!
It is very intriguing. It is, the workmanship here, you can see it's incredible, especially given the materials at their disposal. I'm very much
I'll be-
impressed.
Hunter brushes past him. That's nice, Doc. Lois, let's go.
Of course.
You're not surprised, Doctor, to see it talk of tentacle creatures?
We all saw what was at Percival Lake's camp, and the dissection tent and all that. So,
Hope we didn't see them alive.
sort of flying through the sky, in fact. This is
There's that.
very intriguing.
Well, I admire your composure, Doctor. We really should go. We need to find Lois and Starkweather.
I
Hunter's
Sure.
arm faces ahead.
Yeah, already walking.
outside.
She's
heading for
jogging to catch up to Hunter.
Yeah, Sebastian will as well, but we'll kind of look over to Hayden as he goes and say quietly, "We best get a move on. We don't want them using our friends, Femus."
Yes, let's go. So I'll take one more look inside as I walk out.
You leave the tent.
Baxter waits for everyone to leave out, so he's the last man out.
Gotcha. So you guys walk away from the tent, the flap, now that the little cords are cut, just kind of flapping slightly in the breeze. A little bit of snow blowing in. You guys continue off towards the direction you saw Lois fall, and it's not too long before you see a large, dark shape in the snow. And you recognize this as, oh hey, this is one of the creatures that was carrying her and fell.
Stop. Everyone freeze. Baxter left, Hayden right.
Outside.
We approach it slowly from on 3 different sides while everyone else stays. Weapons pointed, aimed at whatever this thing is, and walk up to it.
You can smell, if the wind's blowing the right way, the ichor kind of scent of the blood. Sebastian, you definitely recognize it as you dissected one of these. It's pretty heavy on the wind, so it must be fresh. You guys kind of walk around it. It is unmoving.
Cover me.
And it appears to be wearing some kind of overcoat. This is something that the ones you dissected didn't have. It's covered in furs and hides, and it's kind of got ties at the front.
Dapper.
Lena will have gotten her revolver out at this point as well. Just
okay.
Yeah, I think Sebastian's got his
Lexington turned on her rifle real good. It has it pointed at it.
Yeah.
Is it a coat?
About to find out.
All right.
Looks that
Sure,
way.
I hope so.
So I walk up to it with my knife out, and I nudge it with my foot, kind of kick it just a bit.
Move.
I grab it and try to flip it over. Pull it out of whatever snow it's in.
It is too heavy to flip over by yourself. You will require. These things are heavy sons of guns. It took like 8 people to carry these to the dissection tent. They're like 7 feet tall and just built like a barrel, and then plus tentacles and heads and feet.
So I shake it and it didn't move.
No, you can even like kick its appendages that are much easier to move, and it doesn't move. It's very limp. And you notice that there's some of the pools of blackish, kind of blackish reddish ichor, slightly purplish, just kind of pooled into the snow, and it's already frozen around it. It's very cold here.
It's crazy seeing this thing up close knowing it was alive, not 30 minutes ago. This is...
Right, well, it's all here. Where's Lois? What's Darkwire there?
Did we see any tracks?
Give me survival or tracking check.
Lena's looking around. Could I conceivably use a spot hidden with my good eyeballs?
Yeah, you could use spot hidden. Yeah, if you have above 50 in it, you can use spot hidden.
Not good as
19 from the
succeeded.
Cool. All right, so both of you guys do spot footprints headed off towards the western pass.
Just for the hell
You
of
guys
it,
kind of came in on the east side.
I'm going to stab this thing. I want to see what kind of resistance.
You stab it. It's fairly resistant. You stab it. But you guess part of the resistance is this slight sheen of ice that's already kind of beginning to coat it, because there's a bunch of tiny ice crystals in the air. But if you break through that and knife goes in, it's covered in that purplish blackish ichor.
All right, I'm just
And
going to put it.
you get a whiff, lovely, charming whiff of that horrible stench.
I've smelled worse. I'm going to put a good 2-foot gap thing.
It might have actually not smelled worse.
So I'm going to cut a 2-foot gash in this thing.
No movement.
Dig it in there.
Yeah. And also with your spot hidden success, Lena, you guys also notice a couple bullet holes, little that impact in places over, and you're assuming that's what took it down. So you heard a couple shots, and then you saw that trail. You're guessing this is the one that was probably injured in flight, and then was finally taken out by either Lois or Starkweather when descending.
Both were armed, so good.
Well, if it bleeds, we can kill it. It's one thing.
That's exactly what I wanted to find out. So I cleaned my blade off, back on the trail, heading for Lois.
Yeah, this whole time, Dr. Johann has been, like, sketching and examining this thing, like, looking at its coat. Like, there's, like, 5 armholes in it, because it's got, the tentacles all the way around.
A tentacle coat.
He's just all science.
Yeah, he's all science in it. He looks, like, excited and giddy. He's like, oh my gosh, they made coats! Like, just fascinated.
Ordinarily, this would be incredibly fascinating to Lena, but she's got a friend to rescue.
Yes. So you follow these footprints. They head towards the Western Pass. So it takes you about another half hour. You guys have been taking you about 45 minutes to get here. It takes about another half hour to get up to the peak of the Western Pass. And as you get closer to the peak, you see that there are, you also, Lena, you've got a really great, we're going to call this your passive spot hidden, and your archaeology-ness. You see stuff carved into the cliffs as you kind of going up to the pass, and it appears to be that cipher.
Take a look
you
at
see
it.
Dr. Johann is already like...
Doctor, excuse me.
yeah. Yes.
Are you familiar with this script?
You definitely have his notebook that you studied.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He's just like, I have encountered this elsewhere previously, and I have taken notes. So my notebook has gone missing since. I suspect that maybe perhaps Mr. Herr Williams made off with it. Is it? I know I packed it. That or it's still at the camp at the time. I've made decent work in deciphering it. Yeah.
I see.
Are you familiar with?
Only recently, I've been gathering as much of it as I can and trying to study it. Two brains are better than one, yes?
Exactly, yeah.
She's
I'll let you roll.
She's super not admitting the notebook ownership.
Yeah, you're like, I picked it up.
Yeah, I just learned it somehow. But yeah, I'll try to read this because I must. That is. I could burn some luck to succeed.
I'll give you a plus 20% because he rolled a 20, and if you guys are working together on it, you're gonna figure it out. Okay. These all depict warning, danger, turn around, go back, warning, danger, do not pass.
Awesome.
Just repeatedly on both sides.
At least they want to warn us.
Yeah, like at the beginning they're like caution, danger ahead, and then it's like warning, danger, and it's like do not pass. Imminent danger. It gets more intense.
Back.
Turn around now if you value your life. Basically, like on those, it gets more intense the further up you go.
No, we really mean it.
No, seriously, turn back now.
And yeah, it's very insistent is the warnings.
It's more urgent the further we go.
And you guys get to the top. Yes. As Sebastian's like, does it? And you can
You can read this.
I more or less. As can the doctor here.
Well, what does it say? Enlighten us.
Well, in general, it started with danger, do not advance, and we're now rapidly approaching
warning, turn back immediately. Sort of
good.
levels of urgency.
Great.
You didn't think telling us that when we were at the bottom?
Maybe when it said, please don't walk here, rather than the imminent danger part.
Listen, we're trying to sort it out. It takes a bit. It
Takes
not
time to
like
decipher.
normal script.
Understandable, but we've passed a lot of it.
Well, in any case, we are now certainly at the point where we perhaps should consider turning back, if we're even considering that.
I agree.
And as you say that, you make the last couple steps to the very height of the pass, and you look out, and you feel the stone in your pocket, Lena. You kind of pulled it out to feel it. You feel it hot in your pocket. So you pull it out, and it's not glowing, but ooh, it is burning warm. You would not touch this with your bare hands right now.
My God. This thing is burning hot. I can feel it through my glove.
And you look over, and you see
I'm sorry,
that
what?
the pass descends down, and you see that there is the edge of a crevasse, a canyon. It's hard to say as the storm clouds kind of rake across the top of it like a low-hanging fog. And at the edge is Lois. Her head kind of looks up and looks back at you guys, and she starts kind of jogging up to y'all.
Hunter rushes in.
Okay, as you pass the peak of the cliff, I'd like you to make me a sanity check. Actually, no, this isn't even. Yeah, sanity check, please.
Yeah, Lena would be running for Lois, so I guess I shall
Sanity
also...
check.
Hidden
Yeah.
begins speaking, like, I'm sorry, what's that rock? And you run away, and I'm just like looking at Sebastian, like,
Was the danger Lois?
Oh no.
How'd you guys do?
Oh no.
Okay, so you both lose 3 points of sanity. As you feel this, that you could feel that kind of uneasy feeling, it really starts to kind of sink in as you guys make the first 20 yards. Do you keep going? All right, so keep running.
My
Give me
friend.
another sanity check.
How far away
Okay.
from Lois?
The edge of the cliff is about 120 yards away, but she's jogging back as well, so she's only about 100 yards at this point. You guys are making about 20 yards per.
can I see if Lois is
thing.
actually there?
Give me a spot hidden. You succeed.
Yeah, do you feel anything? Is
You feel like a presence. It's hard to describe. You feel this weight on you. You feel uneasy. You feel your gut twisting and turning. You feel nervous. You're kind of starting to break out into a kind of like a sort of a cold sweat. Does that succeed your spot hidden, Pro? No. I mean,
I'm not
yeah, it looks
sure.
like Lois is there. Did you succeed? Yeah, you succeeded, Lena, on your sanity check. All right, so, Hunter, is that your sanity check to move forward?
Right.
Okay, so as you guys advance the next 20 yards, it's going to be 6 points if you fail and 3 points if you succeed.
I'm about to stab Lois.
Another round.
If you keep running forward, you can stop now and run back if you'd like, or you can keep running forward.
Hailed.
Lena, do you, are
You
feeling that?
both feel that. It doesn't feel good. It feels weird. You don't like it.
Are you both all right?
Yeah.
Not especially.
What's wrong?
Is my thing floating around?
No, I'm at 42
no,
right now.
He's floating back at the pass. He didn't
Ooh.
come alone. He's followed you everywhere.
I yell at Lois. Lois!
Hi!
Yeah, I think at this point Lena has probably stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is
I'm-
waving to Lois.
Hurry up!
Can you make it this
Yeah,
way?
she's jogging. She appears to be kind of holding something. She's running forward.
Like
It looks like a rock. Looks like a black rock that's kind of wider in the middle and slimmer on the ends.
I'm gonna like get a snowball and just like throw it in that direction.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a throw
you-
check.
Trying to redeem the championship or something?
7-1, that's a fair.
Okay. So you just throw the snowball and like a gust comes by and just like slams it into the mountainside. It's real windy up here as well. But you get you wait a couple more minutes and Lois is able to cross the distance. She goes, "Hi." She's out of breath. And she looks kind of dazed and out of it.
Lena's just gonna throw her arms around her and squeeze her into a tight hug.
Oh, thank goodness you're all right.
I will gently but forcefully move everyone back towards the group.
Move the two of them. Like, that's nice. Hug it up there.
Looking over Lois to make sure she's not injured.
She doesn't appear to be injured. She well, as far as you can tell with the Parker right now. You get up to the pass, and she's like, "I'm so glad to see you guys." And then you get up to the pass, the peak where everyone else is standing behind, and she kind of feel a bit dizzy, and
Dark.
just kind of sits like fall sits.
Yeah,
You can
Lena
get first aid
kind
checks on her?
of sinks. Yeah, Lena sinks down with her to keep her steady.
Hunter will take a knee with his rifle next to him. Doc,
Yes, on my way. Sebastian will cross over.
All right. So they were able to get her up to the peak, so you don't have to make the sanity check or up to the height of the pass. But you give me that medicine or the first aid check. First aid.
Sure.
And then Baxter to be slowly
So,
following behind Sebastian.
41, which is a pass.
Excellent. So she looks like she took a bit of the fall, like same as Hayden, but you're guessing it's when she landed. But she's just bruised up. Nothing's broken. No cuts. Just like a bit on her left side is bruised up, probably from impacting. Thankfully, it looks like she landed in a patch of snow. So you can really, give her some Advil. She feels a little better. She gets a hit point back.
That's fair. I give her some aspirin. I've got some of that on me.
There
And
you
they also, whilst I'm doing this, sort of take a look more at her eyes and sort of how she's acting. And
Give
see
me
if
a
she's okay
psychology check.
head-wise. I can certainly do that.
Oh,
Okay, on a 12, I believe that is
that's probably
a
extreme.
extreme success.
So you're looking into her eyes. She's kind of talking while you're looking over her body. So she's like, "Look at this rock, Lena. I've never seen anything like it." And she kind of holds it up to you to look at as she's kind of dizzy. And then you look into her eyes after you check her over physically. It's after she's already handed it up to Lena. And she is glazed over in a daze. She's seen something and she's actually in shock.
Right.
Maybe it was the experience, maybe it was the fall. Sometimes people walk around kind of in shock for a bit. It's probably the fall, but she's real out of it, not in her right mind right
That's
now.
fair. He'll know that and will sort of speak softly and just kind of go,
Real crazy.
yeah. Lois, how are you feeling?
Tired.
I imagine. It's been a long journey, hasn't it?
A little lightheaded. You notice that her breathing apparatus. It's not in her mouth right now. Like the tube's hanging out.
Right, I'll fix that up.
Yeah, that's probably partially why she's dizzy.
Yeah.
I'm a little lightheaded from lack of oxygen.
Immediately.
Yeah. You're like,
We need to
oh,
keep
hypoxia.
this in.
That could, yeah. So it's probably shock plus hypoxia, but she is not in her right mind right now. She's
That's
not
fine.
violent or anything, just shock.
Out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll tend to that, and he'll make sure that her breathing apparatus is on correct, and will sort of guide her through taking breaths and through calming her, and would just speak softly and ask questions around the subject, but not on it, so that he doesn't bring back up that trauma, and try to calm her or just get her more stable of mind.
What do you ask her exactly?
Things such as the fall didn't hurt you too much, did it?
No, I landed on top of it, so I think it broke most of my fall.
Good. And where is Starkweather? Do you know?
No, I didn't. He didn't fall with me.
I
He
see.
kept flying on.
Oh, of course, of course.
Probably to that
How long-
tower. I didn't want to go in because it looked very ominous, and if that's where they went, I didn't want to go that way.
Does look ominous, doesn't it? Yes. And what have you been doing here?
I just was looking for a way out, and I heard the wind, and I thought, well, if you hear wind, that usually means there's an opening. At least that's how it works in caves. So I thought maybe that's how it works in valleys too. And I went that direction, and I just kind of kept walking.
And that's how you came to be here.
Yeah. I found this really neat rock, though. I gave it to Lena.
Oh. And where did you find the rock?
It was just on the ground in a little pile of snow.
Which part of snow is that?
She's going to be looking at it while they're talking. She's staying very close to Lois, though.
There's a
kind
few of
seated
them. I
next
just
to
picked
her.
up the closest one.
And where are these?
Oh, down there. You
We'll
see
take
a
look
little...
over.
Yeah, you look down in the valley where they were walking, and there are a bunch of small little snow, like almost as if, like when you take powdered sugar and you like sprinkle stuff in it, and it just kind of like mounds up around it. Looks like a bunch of that.
And what do you think it is, with your knowledge?
Probably some kind of artifact, or something. It's as you're looking at it, Lena. Give me an archaeology check.
Sure. Because, by the lore, I should be good at this, but the dice have other things in mind for me most days. But I did succeed this time.
So you have never, ever seen any kind of rock like this before. It's got deep like grooves into it, but it's not very sharp. It's almost like a river stone, like smooth and worn, but it's slightly pliable. Like you can bend it a little bit, but if you smack it against something, it doesn't chip or break at all. Probably due to the pliability. It's very unique, and it almost appears to be maybe carved into this shape because it's very oblong, narrowing at the ends. We don't think this would have formed naturally, and the grooves almost form like a swirling pattern around it. Like a.
And the fact that it's pliable in this cold alone is kind of strange based on material that I think she would know. So, no idea what the material might be either. I'm assuming.
None. You've never seen anything like this before.
She's gonna take I imagine in our survival gear we probably have some kind of little knife or something, or in her archaeology set. And she's gonna kind of try to chip it or something.
Yeah, chip it, can't cut it.
I don't know what this is. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Is it naturally formed? Is it created?
I don't know. It's not a... Its material doesn't appear to be anything that's natural here. Look, it's...
And she'll kind of demonstrate by
It bends a
bending
little
it ever
bit.
so slightly.
The fact that it's able to even be a little pliable in this weather is remarkable.
Very interesting indeed.
Strange.
an idea of its significance spread out in such a way. He says, gesturing to where, Lois said these mounds were.
You can see a
She's
bunch of
gonna-
them just kind of sprinkled.
She's going to take a look at it more closely, like with things like the cipher and all of the stuff she's seen in mind, and see if does this ring any bells or call back to anything she
No.
already knows.
Doesn't seem to.
So, with Lois in this condition, I think we should head back. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt.
We have to get Starkweather.
Do you know where he is? Did he fall as well?
No, I think they took him to the tower. That seemed to be where they were headed.
Tower.
Don't know our safety of entering such a place.
Yes, and we're
We have
not very
Lois.
equipped.
And Hunter will force himself up using his rifle crutch. I don't know what the hell that feeling was, but yeah, this is
It was
not
awful.
gonna be- But I have to get Starkweather back.
And Acacia Lexington will kind of speak up. She says, I agree. Obviously, these things can be killed, and there's way more of us than there are of those who took Starkweather. Especially if these are the ones that were unfrozen? You mentioned something about that? Well, if that was from the Percival Lakes entries, well, we know exactly how many specimens there should be. And obviously, bullets will hurt them. We're heavily armed.
I don't know if we quite do know their numbers. These ones had clothing. There could be many more of them than us in there.
And there was a
Yeah,
tent.
have to-
Clearly, they've been here for a while.
Proceed with
Indeed.
caution. Can't leave anybody
Certainly.
behind.
You really think
Well,
so?
Certainly have a streak of boldness. But I agree. We should go.
With all due respect, Starkweather was one of the ones heading this expedition, and we have enough information now, and we have enough of our crew to get out of here. If
You can always come
you
back.
have been affected so heavily walking as you did, Hunter, with as hardy as you are, I dare think we will all perish if we enter there. I would say we leave. Escape whilst we can.
Lois's condition could get worse.
Oh, I'm
And we have our own
fine.
health to look after as well. He kind of gestures to the rest who aren't Lois to kind of come closer, and we'll kind of just speak lowly and just say, Lois's mental condition is very troubling to me. She has taken a lot of shock, and I cannot speak to her long-term mental health, not to mention the rest of us who have all suffered significant trauma in many ways on this expedition. If we move forward, I cannot attest to our safety of mind nor body, and with how we are currently, I believe our chances are very slim with doing much in there. I understand your loyalty, Hunter, I do. But to go in there is suicide.
Yes. What would the survivalists say of the expedition?
Yeah, I'm going. Anybody that wants to
We
come
can't
with
just-
me? Everybody else?
You can't just go by yourself.
I'll go
Everyone
with
else
you.
tent. If you're not back in an hour, maybe 2, return to the camp.
Well, we've come this far. I'll go with you. Sebastian, if you intend to stay behind, will you look after Lois?
He'll look over to Hayden, first of all, kind of just to the corner of his eye, trying to get an idea of what he's going to do.
Hayden is just like pulling on his stubble angrily. These stupid ass people.
I'm doing this, he says quietly, just to Hayden.
But you're the best, Hayden.
Yeah, flying.
What's your best date?
Well,
How's Baxter?
Yeah, Max is just really just like torn completely mentally on this, and it's pretty obvious on his face where it's like he really is like very indecisive what to do.
Well,
I look at the
so
other
far,
scientists and things like that. Are they going?
oh, he's going. So Priestley, Johann, and Lexington are going. They're like, we would want to be left behind. We're not leaving Starkweather behind. He's put up a good fight, probably. He got some shots off. He's probably still wrestling in there.
Yeah, I'll ask Lois. Who shot that? Was it you or Starkweather?
It was Starkweather. I wasn't able to get. I had my revolver, my parka, but he shot off a couple when we got lifted off, and then I don't think he wanted to shoot anymore when we were so high up. So he waited until we were low enough that it, probably wouldn't die, and then he shot the one that was holding me.
Can I see your revolver, Lois?
Sure. She'll pull it out.
I'm just gonna keep hold of this just in case, alright? I don't have to finish. I just fucking take it.
Okay.
Like giving Crazy a gun.
Giving Crazy a gun.
Sebastian looks at you approvingly.
Fine, look, fine, I'll go. But
Well, I'm definitely going.
Well, then, as your psychiatrist, seeing that you are all insane, I must, of course, come with you.
Look, let's not linger longer than we have to. We'll just do what we can to rescue Starkweather and then get out.
the moment we get him, grab him, and we shouldn't split up no matter what happens, no matter what we say or hear.
Yes.
Of course.
We stick together then.
Hunter will take a step back and look at everyone. I don't think but one of you's been on a battlefield. But you're on one now. No idea what we're going to find down there, what we're going to see, what we're going to encounter, or what we're going to have to do. But whatever it takes, whatever we have to do it for each other. Because that's all we have. Turn around, shoulder my rifle, start walking away.
Wait, Hunter, wait. This is the second time I've heard of people hearing wind. Does anyone have any cloth that I'm going to put some in my ears just in case? You said you heard someone came to this place, Sebastian. And Lois said that they were hearing it.
Yes, I was hearing tickily in my ears over and over again when I was flying over this place. But perhaps he goes into his medical pack and will take out some cotton buds.
Yeah, some cotton swabs, yeah.
We could fashion something out of these.
Put them under your ear muffs.
Stuff them in and then earmuffs, and then we should not hear much.
Seems like a maddening wind anyway.
Indeed.
Every precaution is a good one to take.
Well, he'll hand out some cotton swabs. Just bundle them and there, yes.
Everyone single file. Keep about 5 meters between us. Do not bunch up. Follow me. Rifles and weapons at the ready. Head on a swivel. Anybody spots something that isn't us, sound off.
Very well. Well then, let's do this and hope we don't die. Much less rousing speech, I know. He says, and he'll get his rifle ready.
Right. Hunter leads the way, whichever. I guess the only trail we have is towards the tower.
Mm-hmm. You gotta go back past the tent and then follow the sled trail to the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I'm kind of walking back, I kind of want to pull Sebastian back a bit, and I'm just gonna say, there's only one reason why I want to do this, Sebastian. Everything we've been coming across has been saying one thing consistently: stop it. Don't let it happen. Don't open the gates or the thing.
Yeah.
Keep it sleeping.
Keep it sleepy, don't wake it. I
Whatever
agree.
these things are, and this tower and this thing, we were going to go into those ice caves to see what was going on, but we couldn't in time. That's the only reason why I'm here, just in case.
I agree with whatever you're thinking of. If we find something that could be woken, we keep it asleep.
We shouldn't take anything back.
No, everything stays. We have to make sure that the rest know of that as well when it comes to the time. I worry more about people's minds snapping in the moment.
I don't trust some of the people who are with us.
I don't trust some of them either. The doctor's been rather strange. I don't like him. I don't trust him. I understand his fascination, but his calm is too... It's too much. It's too calm for this.
I thought that when we went into that ghastly scene in the hangar. Also, when did Lois pick up that... When did Lena pick up that stone? Remember the stone we found? She said it was hot.
Apparently, yes.
I don't know what's going on here.
There's a lot we don't understand, but what we do is that we cannot let whatever is there awaken. At least I have plenty of laudanum and anesthetic.
I'll just use my bullets.
Well, they might also put it to sleep forever. Though, let's not go to that one. Let's just go in and not die.
Yes. The name of my memoir book.
Go in and not die.
If it comes to it, Hayden, make sure you at least get her. I don't have much to live for, but you have a lot, including a memoir.
I'm not leaving you behind, friend. Anyone I can.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, chin up. Let's get on with this.
So as we're walking, I'm going to motion for Lena to come up to my side.
She'll catch up.
With Lois.
She certainly could be better. But I suppose it's as much as can be expected. You felt that too when we were going through there, yes?
Yeah, any idea what the hell that was? You're smarter than I am.
Yes, well, this is beyond intelligent speculation, I think.
But Lena's going to think as far as like the stuff that she has discussed with, discussed in her dreams, like a perfectly sane person does with
Yes.
the supposedly late Professor Lake, about the tower and this beacon and is it reasonable to think that like it puts out some sort of effect that is pushing people back or that is doing something?
Well, I'll give you this. The blue light that you saw kind of just pulsing on the top of the tower, you can't really see it from the ground because it's so far up there. But every time you kind of like were looking away, your eye was always drawn back to it. Almost like a lure, like an angler fish. And it's kind of it's to your east. It's to the the west. You were at the western pass just now. You guys came on the eastern pass. It's between the eastern pass and the western pass that the tower is, and then there's that big crevasse canyon thing past the western pass, and that was hard to walk to, which was further away from the tower. So
Okay.
But your eyes were constantly drawn to that pulsing blue light, like a lure.
I don't know, but you remember that blue light on that tower when we were coming in?
Yeah, I remember something. Yeah, I didn't know what the hell it was.
It seems as though it sort of captures your attention. It's like a lure, think of like an anglerfish or a light meant to draw attention.
So
I almost wonder if
that,
it might not have something to do with that.
is that stone you're carrying, does that have anything to do with it? I notice you seem to have it in your hand all the time.
Well, it reacts to those creatures. I know that, right?
You know it reacts to other people being nearby. It's pretty much cold when it's just you. But if you're around a couple of people, it gets warmer. If you're around a lot of people, it gets warmer. It got much warmer around those things when they were, a couple hundred yards away. And it got hot, but like almost too hot to hold even through your glove when at the pass. So you're guessing it kind of responds to life forms? Maybe?
Mm-hmm. I don't exactly know about it, but it seems to respond to life forms. It'll get warm when one or two or a few of us are around, and it got warm with those creatures nearby. It's positively burning at the pass.
And she's sort of thinking about that. We didn't see a lot of people at the pass, did we?
No, you didn't see anybody.
Okay.
And I'll give you this, though.
There were only 3 of us.
It got hotter. It was almost too hot to touch out there. And so you kind of like wrapped it in something and stuck it back in your pocket. You could feel it was almost too hot to be in your parka pocket when you stopped walking forward, even wrapped in something else. So it got hotter the closer you got to the crevasse.
Okay.
Like,
There's something, or a lot of somethings that must be alive down in that glass. Assuming this works the way it seems to. It's all guesswork at this point.
Yeah, I understand. But if that thing does act as an early warning, don't ignore it. You feel it.
That's why I brought it along. I'll make sure to keep you posted if it starts to get hot.
Do that. We're going to need all the help we can get, wherever the hell we're going.
Agreed. Well,
Keep
on to
walking
find
towards-
Starkweather.
Walking towards the tower.
all right, you keep walking towards the tower. So you get into the tower. You get to the tower, and there's a large opening, kind of like a ramp leading slightly downwards and inwards. And it's in front of you. You guys go in.
Nope. We're going to stand there. We're going to gather everyone, just kind of semicircle around and
Knock politely.
did anybody bring some binoculars?
No.
Occasionally,
Yes.
Lexington.
I
Pull
do.
out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
So
do.
that's me. Yes, I do. Here you go.
Now, both of you go ahead and take a look and tell me what you can see about this tower. Everybody, all eyes on the tower. Tell me what you see. We're just going to look this tower over really good. Openings,
All right.
windows, design,
No windows.
carvings.
No other doors. The only other opening you saw was when you were on the backside of it, heading towards the western pass. You saw there was like a place that had caved in near the top, with a crack running down about halfway. which is still for 100 feet up. But no other openings, no other windows. Perfectly smooth, not even pitted by the weather here. You don't recognize the stone either, Lena. But this is rigid and apparently very impervious.
Wow.
So whatever must have caused that crack must have been something.
Oh, how's my hot stone doing?
Yeah,
It's back down to normal temperature, pretty much.
She just shakes her head at Hunter.
All right, follow me. I'll lead the way up the ramp towards.
All right. So you enter the ramp, and it's, there's some ice here. It looks like it's frequently swept. So there's not a lot of snow, just a little bit of ice that seems to have, been about half a day's hours worth of ice. And you get in a little bit further, and there's no lights in here. You notice that. And you see, though, that from the light kind of coming in from the entrance, there's a ramp that goes up and a ramp that goes down.
Does this area look familiar to me yet?
No. And you can feel it's warmer in here. Even though you're only, about 10 yards in, it's already much warmer inside the tower. And the heat feels like it's radiating from below. Like you feel the heat coming up from the ramp leading downwards.
Can I see the stars?
No.
No? Okay.
It is perfectly smooth stone ceiling and walls here.
Oh, no, I mean, like, outside. Can I see the stars outside?
Oh, no, it's daytime. It's Antarctica.
Right. God damn it. And I thought it was darkness.
It's summer in Antarctica.
Has my compass been working at all?
No, you're too close to the pole still.
Okay, damn it. Okay, everything's still working normal. As we're walking in, I'm gonna take up my backpack, and that has the radio in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna put the device in that kind of turns it on. I'm gonna put it back over my backpack, just kind of zipped up.
Okay, sure thing. So you have a ramp leading upwards and a ramp leading downwards. Johan.
Or
Pardon?
tracks.
There's tracks leading both ways, both up and down. Both seem to be pretty frequently traveled. They're both, but there's not tracks per se because there's no snow and there's no dust. This area is very clean. But you see that, because all the ridges that are built into the ramps, like every other ramp you've seen in the city, they're smooth in the center, indicating a lot of travel, both up and down.
Any recent dark weather looking tracks?
Nope, you don't see any. You saw a scrap of maybe fabric or something at the entrance, like a little piece of fiber, but nothing since then. It was kind of stuck in a little piece of ice.
Up or down?
Well, they are flying creatures. I would think that they would prefer heights. Well, yes, but they're also jungle dwelling, as Miss Stoddard was so kindly put out. Perhaps they would prefer to be somewhere warm.
All right, so we split the party. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, this will be fine.
I mean, why don't we just take a look upstairs, or downstairs, give it 20, 25 minutes. If we don't find something, go back upstairs and check there.
Yes, we could always
so
check both, I
downstairs
agree.
I would imagine downstairs is only going to take us so far anyway. We can look there first.
So do we go down or up first?
I said we go down first. Lena, you're with me.
Yes.
Or what else? Keep your distance. Keep your intervals.
Very well.
Go down.
All right, so you guys head down. There's also, you see a faint kind of glow of light as you kind of start to head down this ramp, almost just kind of ambient. And you notice that it's kind of like a spiral ramp kind of going down, and the center column appears to be giving off this faint glow. And also, if you get closer to it, it's warmer, so that you think that's what's kind of emanating the warmth. Would be this kind of center column on the staircase. The ramp. There's no stairs here. The ramp leading downwards.
All right, so there's a tower.
Yeah.
With a center column and ramps going circling
Up and down. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how much distance is between the ramp and the column?
Oh, it connects to it. It's not open, but it does start to open up when you go downward. It kind of opens and widens, as you would expect an obelisk to do as it gets wider, which is good because you're guessing the center column is what's emanating this heat, and it is getting hot. You go down about for like a minute, and it's above freezing. You go down, keep going down for another minute. It's probably about 60 degrees. You go down for another bit, 80. You go down a little further. You're probably gonna have to, if you keep going, unbutton in some jackets and stuff. Also, the air doesn't feel as thin here. You can just waving around and it feels thicker. Might be more oxygenated, possibly. And you see that there's an opening coming off the ramp, a couple openings further down. And you keep going down and it gets hotter, but it seems to kind of taper off. Like it doesn't get past a certain level of heat, but you're guessing it's probably about 90 degrees Fahrenheit or so. It is warm, and it's actually dried out. It was kind of humid at front when the cool and the air, cool and warm air were mixing, but now it's warm, hot, and dry. And you see that there's openings off of it. And it's actually kind of got a faint red glow as it's kind of opened up from the ramp, from the center column, and it's just kind of slightly illuminating down here.
Do we need flashlights?
You'd be able to see a lot better with flashlights. It's a very faint, very dim, like just enough to kind of make out where the wall and the floor is, but you can't see too terribly far in front of you. In fact, Priestley's kind of like, it's real dark down here.
Right. I'll tell 2 people to break out a flashlight. Everybody else keep theirs in reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lexington will say, well, maybe they don't need to have light to see.
That's oddly disturbing.
Lena, can you explain this heat not that far below the surface?
Like most things, I can make a few guesses, but no explanations, I'm afraid.
How about
She will.
the rock?
How's the rock doing?
The rock hasn't warmed up. Also, it's kind of hard to tell right now because you're so hot. You guys will actually probably have to take your jackets off. You're gonna be down here for much longer, so you don't get sweat in it, because if the sweat freezes, you all get frostbite and everybody dies.
We'll stop next to that first opening.
Yeah, there's an arch. It's about 3 yards tall, and a little bit over a yard wide. And
Probably dark. The light doesn't go.
The light goes in there. When you get there, appears to be a curtain on the other side of it. Looks very old, kind of tattered a bit.
Keep your flashlight
But not
shining.
like crunchy. It looks like soft, like it's just been well used, well worn.
I'll call Baxter up. Stay here with the flashlights. Keep the light shining down here on this opening. Baxter, with me. And we will, Baxter and I will walk towards this curtain thing.
Okay. So you get to the curtain.
Is it
a little
another?
red.
Yeah.
It appears to, if you kind of move it aside, it leads to a hallway, and you feel slightly cooler air in here. So it's not like 95, 100, it's more like 80 something down here. And you see that it's like a straight hallway, and it's got several other arches kind of off of it, each having an individual curtain. You see about 6 of them, 6 arches. And it looks like it's caved in at the very end. Actually, no. It isn't caved in. Sorry, I was reading ahead. It's not caved in at all. It just keeps going. But there's 6 archways immediately on, like 3 on the left, 3 on the right.
All right, these archways, these archways, like the designs we've seen in the city.
Yeah, similar to it. Yeah, and they all have curtains, which is something you didn't see in the city. But this is again no weather elements out here, or at least down here.
All right,
and you get a slight scent of elder thing down here.
All right, motion
the
for
elder.
It's really bad. No one likes it.
Bring that stone up here.
Right. She'll come over with the stone in hand. Well,
All right. You're feeling it. Again, it's kind of still hard to tell exactly if it was a subtle movement because it's real warm down here. It was very rapid temperature increase. You think it might be slightly warmer? Like if you stick your hand in, kind of like moving around, you think it might be just a tad warmer.
It's a little bit warmer, maybe. It's hard to tell. It's not as stark of a difference as it is outside. Might be worth a look.
All right, at least we're going to get out of these suits. Right, everyone in here. Now gather everyone in that center room.
Yeah, the hallway.
All right, take these off. I'm going to pile them up next to that opening that we just came in. So suits off, air tanks off, all neatly next to that opening we just came in, so it's marked.
Are the suits? Are we able to like get the suits and kind of like wrap them around us, like a kind of like a waist?
Not really. Like this is 1930s parka technology. They're like this thick, and like you could do that, but you would be just as hot. Like you wouldn't benefit from taking it off really, as you'd be like, oh man, I'm still parked up. It's just a kilt now.
These things were huge.
Then
they didn't have fancy thermal fabric like we do today. They were just like more furs.
Damn, they're gonna take it out because they have to put it on quick. Okay, I take it off and everything that shit.
Yeah.
When Hunter has his off, I'm going to go. Baxter and I is going to go around and just move the curtain aside from the other 6 arches and just take a glance.
So you take glances. There's definitely a lot of things in these rooms. They're about one is definitely larger than the rest, and it's got a bunch of little niches, alcoves, like mini alcoves, like display almost, like in the room. That's the first one. It's larger. The next, the 6th one is empty. It's kind of got a little bit musty scent, like it's not super clean. And then the other 5 all have what appears to be furniture and other things in here. You think maybe these might be living quarters? Maybe? Hard to tell. One seems to kind of have like lab equipment in it, maybe? A lot of jars and vials and things.
Now we only spotted one piece of furniture up above ground in that triangle. Is it similar?
One of them has something similar. Like it's very diverse in the shapes of everything. If you like the first room, the first one, the biggest one, it's got the several uneven looking small tables and a lot of the niches kind of cut into the walls. But everything is very clean. There's no clutter. But all of the tables and niches are full. And there's a half dozen little cup lamps that seem to glow with like a kind of like a slight greenish glow. You don't see any flames though. It looks almost like a phosphorescent fungi. is what's giving off this glow. So it's this room is well lit. The next room has.
Once we just make sure that they're all clear, there's no other creatures in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have the brains. It's all clear. There's a bunch of stuff. These look like rooms. This look like maybe it was a house. I don't know.
Or possibly
check it out.
Some kind of base, or just like where people made camp. Something.
Actually, if you want to sketch this out, I'm going to watch the door. I'm still not feeling all that. Still kind of cloudy up here, so I'm going to take a moment.
Not a problem, Hunter. I got this.
All right. So, everybody go into the rooms.
Yeah, I think take like a quick glance through them.
Okay.
About the same.
So, in the first
Lena's
room with
gonna
all the
take a look
niches,
around.
and tables and stuff, the thing that catches your eye the most once you actually kind of step in and look at it is that two of the room's walls are covered with writing. A lot of it is in that dot cipher. But right across from that wall is a large, meticulously executed and drawn map in charcoal on the stone. It's almost 7 feet across, and you can tell that it depicts the city, the mountains, and adjoining areas. It extends all the way to the coast, and even shows coastal outlines that have not yet been charted, which was part of y'all's reasons for coming. Meticulous distances, and it's all labeled in that dot cipher. If you get close to it and kind of look at it, you can see that Lake's Camp is documented on there. Your landing site in the city is documented on there. And the site of Acacia Lexington's first landing is on there, and the South Pole.
They've been keeping track of us.
Watching us.
Well, someone has.
They've known all along.
Baxter, could you make a copy of this?
Take a bit of time. Do my best.
Inside the niches, you can find one of them is just a bunch of widely varying types of rock, which you being an archaeologist would know this would have to come from many different variety of areas, probably around Antarctica. The next one has a curious construction made of crystal shards and with thin windings of insulated wire, which reminds you a lot of that airplane type. Like, remember some pieces were gutted from that one you found that was flipped upside down? Reminds you a lot of that type of wire. It's about 8 inches high. There is carefully folded and refolded paper charts in the next one. Some are professionally printed National Geographics. There's maps of various continents. One is a hand-drawn aeronautical chart showing a route from the shore of the Ross Sea to the top of the glacier and beyond to the South Pole. The signature at the bottom simply reads P. Lake. And the next alcove over, you see a bunch of like sextants, compass, number of empty and flattened food tins, a Bible with many pages missing, another battered geologist handbook, and a Zippo lighter, but it's out of fuel.
Okay.
Lake.
He's been surviving
He is here.
with these things?
I worry as to what this means entirely, and the fact that they seem to know so much about us, where we were landing, our progress.
He said to come find him here.
When?
When?
In my dreams? I spoke to Professor Lake in my dreams. I thought it was just a grieving mind. He's here then, somewhere.
He must be. But as to if he's working with us or with them is an entirely different thing.
And somehow speaking in your dreams, let's not gloss over that.
Yes, let us not. But
I know.
perhaps we should search this more, seek more answers for this.
Yeah, this is
Just
beyond
gonna start looking amongst
coincidence.
the belongings.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing him the way she does, would she have some general idea of where he might stow things like notes or something?
You would assume, he's
Amongst
notorious
his
for
belongings.
stuffing things under his pillow and under his mattress, but you don't see any pillows or mattresses in here. Like, it's mostly just tables that are here, but the floor is perfectly meticulously swept. There's nothing out of place. Which, he's not the most persnickety neat individual, so that strikes you as a bit odd. But again, the tables are very cluttered with stuff, so maybe it's just the floor's kept clean.
We should try to find his room where he might be staying. If he's got anything that might have answers.
If you accidentally
under his
brush
mattress.
against the crystal and wire thing, it slightly sways and emits a high pitched kind of whine, like rather than the ting 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 that you were expecting, which strikes you all as very, very odd, but you just don't touch it yet. It doesn't make that noise.
Hunter,
Is that noise?
what the hell was that?
The crystal
Crystal.
looked like that had wire gutted from the planes wrapped around it.
Look at that. Does it look like the kind of contraption that's in the radio?
It looks very similar, yeah.
That's in this radio. You remember when the ducks were going crazy a few weeks back?
Yes, I remember that.
It's when I found this in one of the hangars. I assumed it was making some kind of high-pitched frequency, that's why it's making the dogs go crazy. And as we started uncovering more and more horrid things, I was thinking perhaps it was some kind of warning, deterrent.
Maybe a frequency that those things aren't so keen on, or
If it was sending the dogs crazy, maybe. How big is this?
8 inches tall. You'd think it'd be about 3 pounds.
I'm gonna look at it and try and examine it. So I want to try and make something like that at some point in the future. I might have a
Okay.
chance of doing it.
Sure, I'll just give me a mechanical repair roll and I'll see how good you study how the wires are wrapped around these crystals and that kind of thing.
38. That's a mechanical repair.
Yeah, you think you see how it's all put together. There's wires wrapped around crystals and like a copper kind of tubing.
Interesting design.
Almost a
It's-
wind chime like, but wires and
it's
crystals.
Fascinating. It's irrelevant. We should find Starkweather.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Hayden. I think you might be onto something. Doc, when you were cutting those creatures open, did you see any ears?
he'll have a think, and we'll sort of think back on his autopsy, and then sort of look at his notes that he wrote in his little notepad, and just.
Nothing that you would know is an ear. Nothing, no lobes with tubes connected to them.
Any like holes?
There's a lot of holes in tubes,
Yeah,
but nothing
okay.
like that, typically ear-like as you know it.
I honestly could not make any ears out, but with the rest of it being so strange, so alien almost, we could possibly they did.
Now, if I remember correctly, Lena, you said that one of those drawings showed them coming up from the ocean or the sea, and there's been some notes about them being sea creatures.
Something like that.
So maybe they communicate like whales or dolphins.
It's possible they could hear on a frequency that is beyond ours.
Right.
or just through dreams.
A frequency that is beyond ours.
So is that that little wire thing? Is it portable?
Yeah, it's about 3 pounds. You can carry it. Every time it kind of, if the crystals and wires are allowed to touch each other, they make that noise. So you'd have to like bundle it up in something to get it to not constantly shift and clang together. Clang. It's weird because you expect it to make like wind chime kind of clanky noises, but it's more of like a high pitched kind of
With frequency.
pitches. Yeah.
Lynn, I might just be going out on a limb here, but do you think that'd be a good idea? Maybe bring it with us, or is it just dead weight?
To take the crystal along? Certainly possible.
Why would,
loud?
if Lake was here, why would he have something like that? Why would he build? Or
He kept saying something about not letting it wake up.
Perhaps the tone lulls it to sleep?
I don't know.
I'm still confused as to what this it is, however.
And I
I'm
wouldn't really
almost
call that
wondering.
something to put someone to sleep.
No, but enough of that could knock you out.
Yes. I don't know. I think
Well,
I'm
if we're
gonna
just
be
going up the
quick and
stairs.
stealthy.
If we wrap it up in something, it shouldn't make much noise.
Yes, I believe I have a grease towel on my kits.
Wrap it up.
right,
Mhm.
everybody,
After wrapping it, Lena will give it a test to make sure that it won't
You don't hear it.
make much.
Oh,
Just
thank
gotta-
God.
Yeah.
did you search
Lot of
the room that looked like a lab?
Yeah,
Tell me
the
what it
next
looks
room
like.
over has only 2 tables, but they're very large and heavy, made of thin cup slabs of some type of stone with a fine polished finish. You see that there's a bunch of dried plant fibers that cover the floor. They kind of give off a slightly sour scent as you step on them. The tables are covered with bowls and tools of stone, glass, and crystal that give it very much the look of a kind of a chemical laboratory. Near the left wall, you see that the stone of the floor is dug away, and there's a leather covering. Looks like it's got like a rock set on it, like a weight. And your stone is a smidge warmer in here.
Lena will kind of raise the stone up and give Hunter a look.
It's warming
Alright,
up a little.
Step up and go to where she is then.
Okay.
She'll kind of hold it out and just sort of turn in a circle in
near
general.
the leather flap that's covering whatever this is. Maybe like a small dugout pit.
There.
You'd have to lift the rock
That
up.
covering
and
is-
flip
Does the
Seems to
rock
be
look
coming
heavy?
from there.
it. Nah, not really. It's just enough to like a paperweight, really, but like a leather paperweight. 2 of them.
Baxter, cover.
Got it.
All right, I'm going to take this rock and
Mhm.
pick it up, toss it to
All
the
right.
side, grab the leather cover. What is
Yeah,
it? Animal
just a
skin?
leather-
Yes?
Yeah, it's some kind of animal skin. Maybe probably seal stitched together. Flip the flap back.
Lord.
Underneath there's a pit, and it's covered with blocks and chips of ice. And inside, kind of tucked into the ice a bit, like with little ice chips surrounding it, you see 3 stone containers. Looks almost like cookie jars.
Hayden,
About this
tell me
big.
you brought that fancy ice knife.
Indeed, but do we have time to be digging through the ice?
It's not like embedded in the ice. It's like when you put your beer in the cooler and you kind of put the ice around
I was
it
like
to keep
slightly
it cold.
crusted.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Yeah.
No, it's not a solid block. There's like a couple big blocks, but then a bunch of ice chips that fill it up.
So it's a cooler. He just made a cooler.
Yeah, looks like a cooler.
Your dock was pretty impressive. I'll reach in and grab those jars.
Mm-hmm.
Set them out and put them in front of Lena.
She's going to take a look at them and just slightly pull the lid if it's openable.
They appear to be like a screw top. You can unscrew it.
Okay.
So you unscrew one.
Glass jars or what kind of jars?
Stone. They're stone.
Stone.
Mm-hmm. So you unscrew it. And inside you see very slowly moving, probably because of the cold, you would think. It's very cold to hold. This little writhing mass at the bottom of it's about this big, like tennis ball sized. It's got little tendrils and tentacles and tubing, but it all appears to be made of this blackish, brownish, greenish, bluish substance. And
the hunter grabs the jar because it looks like she's about to drop it.
I think they're
and
alive.
it's just very slowly moving inside.
What in the world is
She,
that?
to her credit, she does not drop it. She is just handing it over to Hunter.
What is that
I
thing?
don't know, but I think we should put them back in the ice
Yes, maybe we should put them.
now.
I'll have a very quick look over them.
Take a quick look, Doc.
Yeah, I'll take a quick look.
Make it quick.
I'll have a detailed sort of assessment of them. Just a cursory one, but just kind of looking over them, getting
It's
a feel of
freakies.
their anatomy.
It's freaky as all get out. You don't know how those things move. Obviously doesn't have any type of bone structure to it, as it goes flat and
Is it
lifts
like
up. And then...
Is it like
It's like a jellyfish.
baby elder thing?
No, it doesn't look like that. As it doesn't have that. Like other things have structure to them. This looks much
Okay.
more like You've ever seen a dead octopus at the beach, but it can still like move and stuff,
Oh,
and
okay.
very dark. Like
Right.
if an octopus and Venom had a baby. That's what this
Okay.
kind of looks like, but with no eyes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
This thing is disturbing, to say the least, Hunter, but I can't make much of it, to be honest with you. I don't know where to begin.
All right, Lena, lid.
Yes.
And it seems
She's
to be, as
screwing
it's
it back
kind of
on.
warmed up a little bit, moving a bit more.
She
So
starts to
you-
screw the lid back on.
You're able to screw it on before it gets too
I'll take a
wily.
quick look at the ice then.
Mm-hmm.
So the other the same.
Yeah, peek open, and they're a little bit more active as they've had a couple minutes to thaw a bit.
It's crazy.
Lid back on.
This is insane.
Back in the ice. I cover it with the leather, with the rock back on it.
Mm-hmm. You're like, nope.
Nobody
We're
touched
just gonna put
this.
that right back where we found it.
Have I seen any food moving through this?
I'm sorry. I cut
Have I
out for a
seen any?
second.
Have I seen any food as we've been going through this?
Give me a spot hidden check.
Or anything that could be conceived as food?
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine you've been kind of like looking through the tables and stuff.
No, I
I'll go
haven't.
Have y'all searched all the rooms?
No, not yet. You're on room 2, and 6 is empty. So did you succeed on
No.
your spot hidden? Okay. Nothing that really looks like food in here.
How is he surviving?
If anyone else wants to give a spot hidden to look for food stuffs.
Can I do
Usually-
a survival instead?
It's you can do a survival, but that's not gonna be like, oh, I see a jar of fish food or whatever. Like it's gonna be more like looking for if like a food source comes in or
Sure,
something
yeah.
like that.
This is
Hard success.
used to making food off of the surrounding
That's
area.
acceptable.
off of living
Okay.
where-
Anyone who succeeds, you see, not in the ice, but you see little bits. You see like a small, like stone jar on the table. You open it up, and there appears to be like, it smells pretty. I think maybe it's like penguin jerky or seal jerky. It smells kind of fishy.
Okay.
And it's in like little flakes, almost like fish food, but more like chunks. It's like bacon bits. It's like little penguin bacon bits in a little jar
Snacking.
with a tiny little scoop next to it, so you can measure them out.
Bacon.
Well,
Like
this
teaspoon.
Like
Hunter
penguin
knows
bacon.
everybody's. Yeah, Hunter knows everybody's used to it by now, so I'll reach in and I'll take out a good little chunk and eat it.
Tastes awful. This is what Olaf is like. It tastes really similar to how Olaf described penguin. This is awful. It's like oily, chewy, and fishy, but like musty, and it doesn't taste good.
But you could probably still live off of it.
Oh yeah, Olaf says you can live off of it. It's still protein. It's still meat. It just tastes awful. It's horrible.
All right, I'll take another bite. That's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, should we get going?
You want to peek
Let's keep
into
looking.
the next rooms. The third room has a large table and two smaller ones. All of them have strong fibers woven over frames of bone. Scattered over the floor and the table you see hanging off of the central rack are bits and scraps of animal hides. You also see long bone needles are thrust in kind of like a fibrous block, kind of like some kind of weird pincushion. You also see there's strings of gut draped limply between the rack and the floor. And this room is lit by cup lamps as well, so you don't need flashlights in here. And there's a bunch of shreds of hide. You would guess that this is kind of a sewing room, as you see like one of those coats that it looks like the dead one was wearing is almost completed, but you can see it was being worked on still, like it's not quite finished.
Is that, can you tell if that's Lake's handiwork? Lena? You did, I think.
Dang it. Pro streamer. Is it working now?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
Pro stream.
She will get a closer look. Does it look remotely human made or
It looks too nice. It looks like machine work, but you don't see a machine. You only see bone needles.
okay? And the bone needles are
Too
pretty
nice.
sizable. Like
Some are sizable, some are
Large.
tiny.
hmm.
You don't see the tiny ones till you get in, though.
Yeah.
They're sorted and organized
think
very
so.
nicely. You're guessing this is where they make string, rope, fibers, cloth, outfits.
I don't think this is his handiwork.
Damn it.
Seems to be made for them to use. I'd guess, of course.
All right, do you want to search the other couple of rooms?
Let me just take a peek and see if I can identify one that might be his.
Okay,
Everybody else?
so room
we're gonna
6 is empty.
We're going to take 10 minutes to eat. So pull some food out of your pack. Ration it. Do not stuff yourselves. We don't know how long we're going to be down here.
All right, so room 6 is empty. It's got some lichen kind of growing on the wall, but it looks dead. It appears to be like roughly cleaned over, like you see like mop streaks almost, but not very thoroughly. Room number 4, you can see that this is a mural room. You've seen several of these, but it looks like it's still being worked on. You see one side is towers, looming, beautiful city work, but much like you've seen in the city. The second panel shows them all broken, very much in the state that the city is today, and that one's not finished. And there appears to be a third panel that's just, it's being smoothed out still to be muralized. And then
What's
in the
being-
fifth room,
like what's being depicted specifically on the pieces that are done?
one is like the city in its prime. You see hundreds of these elder things flying through the skies, much like what you saw in the city. The second one shows it empty, barren, crumpled towers. A few structures still remain standing. It looks pretty much just like you've seen it outside, but empty. And then the third wall is just being smoothed out. It looks like they're halfway through smoothing the stone to be able to carve it. You're guessing maybe like past, present, future? Hard to tell, but there's that. And then the fifth room, it's also empty. There's nobody down here, but you see that the floor is covered very thickly with many thin brown rugs that appear to be woven from plant fibers, and there's tall thread-like glass structures that stand in the four corners of the room on heavy stone bases. And there's one lone green phosphorescent light in here.
Does this room look familiar at all?
No, it's very thick. You feel it like almost like carpet underneath your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then sculpture in each room, very almost thread-like glass, all woven together.
I have no idea what this room could be for. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
All right. Eat. 10 minutes, we'll move out. The photographer, what's his name?
Priestley.
Priestley, yeah. Have him take a shot or two of things around here.
He takes pictures. Everyone eats a snack.
Yeah, eat and all right, we'll continue down.
All right. You go down and there's another archway with a curtain. This archway is twice as wide as the one before, though. It's about 8 feet side to side, but the same height. And you see that this one tilts slightly downwards. And again, if you move the curtain aside, you feel the cooler air come back out, as it's much hotter in the stairwell than it is in the side tunnels. It's about 95, 100 degrees compared to about 80, 85.
Okay. Same procedure. Baxter and I will go in and make sure that it's clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then.
All right. So you go down there. There's a second curtain, and this one kind of has the roof is slightly curved down here, and you get down, you move the curtain away, and about 20 yards wide, the room opens up. It's filled with stone slab tables and huge crystalline structures. And it's about 60 or 70 degrees here. It's actually very comfortable in this room. There's no lights, though, so you're just shining your flashlights. But when you pass it, whenever it hits a crystal, it kind of almost disco balls outward. Kind of illuminates a bit more than if you were just to shine it in the room.
Nobody in here. Hello. If you are in here, sound off.
You don't hear anything.
All right.
Baxter, did Hunter's voice carry like a large echo into this room?
Yeah, there's a bit of an echo. On the table, there's just a bunch of shallow bowls, stone tools. There's also some, the two tables, right on either side of the door, they're filled with these flat, circular discs. With a bunch of holes in them, made of stone as well. They're very, almost paper-thin stone. And he calls into the room. You don't hear anything, but his echo almost sounds like whispers are being carried back on it. You hear his voice go out clearly, and then the echo comes back, and it kind of has a with it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that now for a few days. All right, so I'm just going to grab one of those thin circular stones, and Baxter and I will exit back to the group. By the way, Baxter, I would have had you have the shotgun ready.
Mm.
Yes.
We're in a tight, closed space here, so you're walking around with a shotgun. Right. come back out and I will show, I'll hand that stone to Lena. Found this. And then continue on.
All right. You keep going
How
down.
about this stone? Everybody just keeps handing me
give
rocks,
me-
so what's this one?
Give me an elder script check. This one
You're the rock-
has writing on it.
I'm an archaeologist, not a geologist.
Same difference, right?
Left the
That's
geologists
more.
with it. The German geologist with the airplane, and your geologist has frostbite and stayed it can't.
What was I rolling? I'm so sorry.
Elder cipher check. See if you can read it.
Boop. That's a big fat no.
Yeah. Johann looks at it, and he says, they look like notes, but I can't tell of what. These are all numbers, and he kind of gestures to like the outer ring.
Notes.
Perhaps measurements. We'll take rubbings. And he whips out a charcoal rubbing.
She'll hold it steady for him so he
Mhm.
can take rubbings of it and document it.
And everything down here looks like an artifact to Hunter, so everything
Yeah,
goes to you.
it does.
Looks weird here.
Most of them probably are. Just age-wise. This is older than humanity. Here you go.
Cool.
All right, we're
I'm
continuing,
gonna go
continuing
back with
down.
so many things.
Right. The spiral ramp ends, and you see that there's a third archway with a curtain.
Take a look back up and try to guesstimate how far down we are.
A few stories. It's hard to get an exact number because it is so dark down here. Just that faint kind of red glow, and then it's not stairs. So you're not like, oh yeah, I'm this many steps down. It's just the ramp, so it depends on how the angle, and it kind of adjusts depending on what level you're on. So you'd say a few stories though.
All right, same procedure. This.
So you go to move the curtain, and this one actually is fastened at the top, sides, and bottom.
Fastened how?
It's tied at the top rather than being on like kind of like rings that slide on a rod. This one's tied, and then the bottom has some stones on the like holding it down. So it's not fastened on the sides actually. It's just the top. It's tied. It's like a tie curtain, so it wouldn't slide open. You'd have to move it aside, and it has like some stones on the bottom on the other side.
Okay. Nope, too slow. Take my knife out and I'll cut a big gash. Big X.
Okay.
Right through it.
All right. So, there's it kind of leads into a hallway. And you hear the sound of dripping water.
Baxter and I will go down. Flashlight, weapons ready.
All right. So, you guys go down with the flashlights, and you see that there's one more curtain at the end of the hallway. This one doesn't it's kind of almost moving a little bit, as if there's a breeze down here.
All right, I'm going to stop and listen for a second. I'll motion to Baxter.
Give me a listen check. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
That is dead on my 45.
Jet on your 45. Hunter, all you hear is that dripping water noise. Baxter, you hear, in addition to the dripping noise, maybe a slight rustling sound.
Something might be ahead. Where's Russell?
All right, I will move over to the edge of this curtain.
Mhm. Yeah.
And stand to the side with Baxter perpendicular and jerk open one corner of it, about 6-8 feet.
6-8 feet. All right. You shine your light in.
Yes.
All right. As you shine your light in and flip the curtain open, you can see, you can make out this is a fan-shaped kind of chamber. It's like a cone. You're at the base of it. You see very small, about 8 inches tall. Some are a little bigger, some are a little smaller. Just things moving. And as your light shines in, you see little white clusters of eyes opening and closing almost sleepily. Hundreds of eyes. And you recognize the shape of these creatures. They're very little barrel shapes with 5 little appendages and 5 eye stalks on the top of its head. And as their eyes blink open, they seem to notice you, and you suddenly hear, and there's just a chorus of them as they all, very shrill, very high-pitched, and you see, from these hundreds of mini creatures, these tiny little fan membranes kind of fluttering in and out excitedly, and they start to wave. They don't like swarm because there's too many of them. They kind of crawl over each other in a wave towards you guys, and I need a sanity check from the both of you.
I will use
Cool, we
my.
found the nursery.
I'm going to use this one here. Keep her.
Nat 20? All right.
Yep. That one there now.
All right. I will mark that off there.
Oh my god!
So, what about you, Baxter? You rolling?
I was 10 away.
10 away, so you did not succeed?
Here's some luck.
No.
You
Some
can't
luck.
use luck on sanity checks,
That's what I'm saying. This doesn't work here.
unfortunately. So, all right, I just marked off your crit. So, Baxter, you are going to take 6 points of sanity, and Hunter,
41.
you're going to take oops, did I not do that right? I thought I did. I can't command today. There we go. 2 points of sanity, as you only suffer a D3 sanity loss. Plus 1, so that'll actually be 7 and 4. As you see this wave of young elder things swarming towards you, what would you like to do as you have discovered the nursery? That is
Flare. I pull a
Yeah,
flare
fire.
out,
Flare.
pop it, and drop it about 3 feet in front of me.
Okay. And do you move? Do you run? Or you just pop the flare?
Baxter, move back. Pop the flare. Drop it.
Okay. Pop the
I-
flare.
I have
Drop it.
irresistible instinct to fire, and I move back.
Okay.
After
Drop the curtain.
hearing that, I'm going to.
Yeah, you hear a
move
move back and a
a high pitched whine. I'm guessing.
yeah. You
Um,
can hear the chorus echoing down.
I'm gonna go to Eleanor's and grab the cloth and pull it off
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of bang it so like it hits the wires.
Okay. You hear more high-pitched sounds.
We are backing away, and I have my.
How quickly are you backing away? Are you like backwards running? Are you just backing slowly? Like, I just need to know what speed you're moving at, just for
I
no
will-
reason.
push Baxter.
Yeah, considering Baxter failed his sanity, I'm Berger. He's like booking it.
Okay, Baxter's booking it.
And I'm going to backpedal with pistol out. Probably about half his speed.
Okay, so full speed, half speed.
Over there.
All right. So, Baxter, you guys see Baxter tearing ass out of this tunnel, and just like shotgun out, just look of terror on his face. And with the flare lit, even more light is brought into the room, and that's when you notice, as you're backing up halfway, Hunter, that in the very corners of the room are two
I dropped
full-grown elder things
Now
that
drop
appear
the
to be
curtain.
holding. Yeah, a little one. They're real fast little suckers. So like the curtains dropped, but you like had to slide it, and you moved it a whole 8 feet. So it's
Yeah.
only like you can see this before it half closes. And you can see that there is one in each corner, holding like multiple in their arms, and one like with a free tentacle appear to have been feeding the babies as you all hopped in here. And they see the flare and they see you, the eye sockets all focus on you, and they gently, very gently while moving forward, start moving towards you as the curtain.
How many? I didn't count the. Okay.
Well, there's hundreds of little ones, and then there's 2 full-grown ones that appear to have been feeding the little babies.
Does the high-pitched noise do anything?
You don't notice it doing anything.
Okay, well, I see Baxter. I'm going to just run back.
Okay.
I don't wait for any kind of.
Okay.
What's going on?
sounds.
Normally you have to make a
We need to
luck
run.
check to spot the adult ones, but because you spent that 20 on the sanity, you were collected enough to notice. So.
I will back out of the X cut I made. Down, everyone down now. Go.
I'm like 50 feet away.
All right.
You're getting back up the ramp.
Running.
Yes, back up. And
Up the
I
ramp.
Running.
will cover again another 20 yards, and then turn around and run.
Mm-hmm.
If I see one of them come through that first tarp within that 20 yards,
Okay.
I'll fire. If not, I'm running.
You're running. Okay. So. Just double checking something. All right. Cool. Yeah, and as you're running up, you look over because it's opened up from the center pillar, and you look down while the ramp stops at a wall. You notice that the pit keeps going and the shaft keeps going, and you can kind of see that orange glow still gets hotter and hotter. You can see it's like kind of like a full glow, like kind of like a nuclear glow at the bottom. But you guys are running up, and you all get one round of moving away before out from the X that was torn into the curtain. They didn't have to open the door. They appreciated that. You see 2 elder things, wings out, flying up at y'all.
All right.
And this is when we're gonna need to roll some initiative.
There we go. About time.
I had started running way before they.
Yeah,
came
you
through.
and Baxter are at the front. You're like,
No doubt.
Why?
you can still hear the
Okay.
chorus.
What's initiative
Which
again?
Dex, just
Yeah,
Dex
how does
checks.
it? Just a
Dex.
dex check.
Ooh.
Okay.
Whoever's the fastest gets to go
Awesome.
first. Is
Eek.
basically how it works.
Yeah, that. Nope.
Yep, I did mine.
That's one other thing.
What are you doing?
2 other things. Okay.
He's
Mine's an extreme.
Cobbler's like, bye.
Yeah. That's why I was laughing. Just like, this is very unfair.
Baxter's just like, F this.
All right.
many.
So
Nope.
it looks like we've got Baxter first, an elder thing, then Hayden. Gosh, y'all did not roll great on initiative. And then second elder thing, then Hollow, Lena, Hunter. Whew. All right. So Baxter,
Last.
you hear the movement of air. You gotta glance over your shoulder and you see 2 big old elder things chasing after you guys, and they all. You don't know how happy versus sad versus angry looks on an elder thing's face, but their tentacles are all like. So you're guessing it's probably not happy.
We're leaving.
We invaded their nest. Yeah.
We did a bad, you guys.
Okay, as long as I survive, I can fly away.
So what would you like to do?
He's saying like running is the only option for Baxter at this moment. As much as he wants to be
Okay.
like to go in and try to
Away.
fire and try to be cool, he's not in the mindset to do that.
All right, so you're just like booking it as fast as can, just dashing basically, like
Yeah.
booking it.
Is the one getting
Okay.
closer to the back of us?
Well, they're flying, so they are faster than you guys.
All right.
Hayden's in the very rear, though. Or not Hayden. Hunter's in the very rear, as he was the last person. No, Hayden's right behind the backer.
So before we were leading, like now now a different kind of sandwich.
All right. So next up, we've got. Oh, it's me. It's an elder thing. It's gonna fly and be right on Hunter's heels. Hunter did have a head start. They had to put the babies down first, which took a minute because they had to be very gentle.
Sure. At least they care for their own.
They're very sensitive. But he's right. You can feel the wind from the wings behind you, but it can't quite reach you with its tentacles yet. So that's its turn. Just getting up there. Next we've got. Do we have anybody between me and that? No.
Yeah,
okay.
me.
I guess you. Yes, that's right. Yes, 33. Hayden, what would you like to do?
So, good question. With the thing banging and with my backpack
Yeah.
with the thing,
It's
is it doing
really hard to-
anything? Is it doing
Not that you
anything?
can tell. Doesn't look
God
like it.
fucking damn it, my theory broke. Okay, so
Anything they're
where-
jamming out to it while they fly.
I was like, oh, this is like my home beat.
Music, yeah. Sweet.
Fucking. How far are we in the complex right now?
You were able
Have we
to
got back
get
to the
to
rooms? Or not,
You were able to get back up to the workshop rooms. You were at the nursery. There's the workshop, and then like living quarters. You were able to run from nursery to workshop, and up to this point. So you're basically at that entrance. You can go up further. You can dive off. You could make it probably if you just ran to the first alcove where the first tunnel was. Where the rooms are.
Where is the scientist? The gem
Scientist? Oh, they're running with you. He's behind
They're
you,
like-
though. I should roll them initiative, too, huh? I'll just roll group initiative for them.
Yeah, Hunter's
They're
yelling.
after you. They're behind you, but in front of Lena, Hunter, and Sebastian. So they're right in the middle.
Okay, I'm going to. I'm gonna take out my gun.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot the scientist guy in the leg. In the
You
knee.
shoot the scientist guy.
I'm gonna run.
Because you're running and this is a called shot, it's going to need a hard success.
Okay. If I miss, I try to shoot them.
Yeah, I figured that's what you're gonna do.
38 of
Is that a hard
60.
success? 38 to 60, so not quite a hard success. You'd have to get 30. So you're like, yeah, it shoots off to the side. You don't shoot the scientist in the leg. But you don't shoot an elder thing either, or anybody else. Just kind of ping, it's off the rock. And you keep running.
Hayden, keep running.
Right. I was trying.
I was trying. All right. The
I'm
scientist.
definitely trying to shoot an elder thing, right?
Yeah.
After Johann, Priest, and Acacia Lexington are booking it, so they're just running. I believe we have next our dear, fantastic doctor. Sebastian, what would you like to do? You're right behind the German and the cameraman and Acacia.
Yeah, and
running
you said
up.
the one's almost on Hunter, did you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright,
He's real close.
He's gonna he'll see that, and he'll sort of make a panicked shot with his rifle.
Okay.
And I'm going to use one of my crits over the side.
Okay. Phew. All right. Roll me double damage then on your rifle. Why not?
Sure, do we need
I'm
the
feeling generous. Yeah. What rifle do you have? Oh no, my Call of Cthulhu book's in the other room. I think it's
quite remember. I just put
2d6.
rifle.
That's typical rifle.
I'll do 2d6, cool. So is
So,
it double that,
2d6.
sorry, did you say?
Yeah. So roll 46, which would basically be shotgun, but like, not scattered. So if you're using a crit, we'll do that. I'll be nice.
Rifle 2d6 plus 4.
Cool. So it'll be 46 plus 4.
Cool.
Oh.
So that's there. So that's 2 10s plus the 4 on each. So 28.
Nice. All right. Well, it'll just be +4. It's like you don't add the modifier twice.
Okay, cool.
It's one
That's
shot.
still
24.
Yeah.
That's still really, really good for Call of Cthulhu damage. Let me just get in here and there we go. There's your
Literally,
thing.
I hit it. I used the crit.
Let me see how that one's looking now. Let's see. Shoot that one other thing. Where are you aiming for? Just like wing, body? What you looking for?
I think I'll go for kind of like near where its wing and its body connect. Sort
Okay.
of trying to shoot that section as he's just kind of like, get off of him, you creature.
All right, so you're shooting the ones right on him. You hit right where the wing joint connect, because you've dissected these things. You have a fairly decent. You don't know what all their bits and bobbles mean, but you have an idea of how things connect anatomically speaking, at least. And so it hits, and you hear a high pitched, and it kind of wheels off of him as you did a hefty bit of damage to it. Not enough to kill it or take it down, but
It's fine.
it's heavily wounded. You see a big splatter of blood it gets up back on Hayden's back a little bit. Not Hayden. I keep calling Hunter Hayden. Hunter's back a little bit. Hunter, you feel the hot blood hit you from behind. Kind of burns a little bit, but it's not on you anymore. You could feel the wing movement. It's wheeled off, and it seems to be kind of circling back towards the nursery, and you see it land, and it's still just rising mad, but appears to just be hanging back and guarding the entrance. Not necessarily right on you guys.
It's fine.
All
And I'll
right,
keep sprinting.
Lena. Yeah. What about you?
So, is there anybody else that's in the danger zone, so to speak, that's falling
The
behind
danger zone?
even us?
Well, the second elder thing is catching up. It's almost on Hunter, because Hunter's in the back.
Okay.
But it wasn't
Okay.
like tickling the back of his neck with its tentacles
For
like
sure.
the other one was. It's a little bit behind.
She's not going to shoot it because they're kind of in the right, to be perfectly honest. But she's just going to sort of grab at Hunter and try to like pull him along and start running, like pick up the pace.
Yeah, because you're right there in front of him, so you're just trying to help him just get some extra speed.
Yeah. She's just
Alright,
sort of like grabbing at his arm and looking
Give
at
me
faster.
a strength check just to see if you can
Okay.
get that extra boost. Help him up. Oh, yeah, you're able to just you pull out some adrenaline and just book it up there. You guys are running very swiftly. Hunter, Lena has given you a bit of a speed boost. You haven't tripped over yourself or anything. She's giving you a little bit of extra distance between you, and one of them's peeled off, but one of them's still in hot pursuit on you. What would you like to do?
Did Lois get a roll?
Lois is running with everybody else. She's kind of just still shocked and dazed, so Acacia grabbed her and is running with her. And she also doesn't have a gun, because Hayden took it, so...
I should put that down.
Alright, so what would you like to do? I don't know.
Keep running. Yeah, keep
Just
running.
keep running? Alright, cool.
I'm thinking to the exit. I'm going to do something once we reach the exit, but not right now. We're in this is too vulnerable position.
Alright, so
Once we get on flat
it's
ground.
gonna, like, keep following you. I believe that our dear Baxter's up again. One of them is wheeled off. You're still running. Just keep running. What are you doing?
The only reason I imagine Baxter would halt is if someone was in need.
Mm-hmm. No one's being attacked right now. You're just being chased.
Alright, so then
So
it's just... So if anything, he does like a quick check.
Yeah, you
Doesn't see
pass
anything.
by the door, or the archway that led to the living room area, the living quarters, and you just keep booking it. What about you, Hayden?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I get to go next. Well, that one was in hot pursuit, and he's gonna kind of tuck himself in the alcove. Now, Hayden, you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna... Was that 27?
That's
Yeah.
77.
That's a 77? Fuck. I'm
That's
gonna
77.
I'm gonna shoot off into the distance, pretending to try and hit the elder thing.
All right. So you do
Oh,
that.
I missed again. Oh my god.
Keisha, still dragging Lois with you. Scientist is running, but he keeps looking over his shoulder, like scared yet fascinated. It's a weird look.
Can I-
Pretty sleep
can I
just looking at it like
Can I actually use my crit on that?
you already rolled it. So you're
God damn it.
all right. And then the next elder thing is going to try and swoop up and grab either Hunter or Lena. One of the two. Oh, and it rolls real good. So as this elder thing, I'll roll a D2. If it's a D1, if it's 1, it's Hunter. If it's 2, it's Lena. Let's see who it grabs.
Oh, no.
It grabs Lena. So you feel yourself running, you pull Hunter in front of you a little bit, and the next thing you know, you've got these tentacles wrapped around you, and you're being lifted up. And that's where we're going to end our session for this week. Cool. As we have run out of time, so Lena is being constricted by an elder thing right now, but yay! We'll get back to that next week. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's fine.
let's go around and say who we are, where we can find you on the internet, and what your favorite moment from today was. Let's start with Crumpler.
Hi! Hi, my name is Crump64. You can find me both on Twitter and on Twitch under the same name, Crump64. You'll find me on every Sunday night. I'm currently DEM of a D&D Adventure 5e of Chris Estrad, featuring an all-female group that call themselves the Lovely Lady Crumps. In terms of favorite part, I found it very humorous of basically Hayden's pratfall, because I had the perfect image of both Sebastian and Baxter, almost like as if he's like a boxer, like he's just in the corner and just Sebastian and Baxter just helping him out the entire time. How do I look, Doc?
Love it. Love it. Awesome. And Mr. Jimersion.
Yeah, I am Jimersion, Jim Moreno. Rolling initiative. It's always
Rolling initiative.
It's always a crapshoot in the Call of Cthulhu, and it's been a long time since I've done it. So, yeah, now that we're in a fight on here, man, what's going to happen next? You have to come back next week, because I have no idea.
Awesome. Little Cup of Joe.
Hey! So, I have a heckin' concern, but this is fine. I'm Little Cup of Joe on Twitch and Twitter. I think I'll be playing Lena next week. We'll find out. I may have to consider a different character here real soon. I don't know.
You've got some nat 20s. You'll be fine.
Yes. This was good creepy stuff. It's gotten real now. It's fine.
It's fine. Awesome. Pro Restarter.
Hey, yeah, super fun game today. Man, that baby nursery. Whew. Yeah, no, super fun. I had lots of fun. So I didn't get to shoot someone in the knee like I really wanted to. Maybe next week.
You tried real hard.
I really did. So A for effort. And yeah, you can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, all under the same name, Pro Restarter. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST starts our new show, Cypher System, the Endless Night Empire game. So yeah, super awesome. I'm excited for that.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, a Hollowtail.
Hello, yeah, so my favorite moment, probably the nursery, just the noises that you made and like the motions were just perfect. I loved it. It's great. And aside from that, I'm Hollowtail. You can find me on Twitter at Hollowtail, YouTube at Hollowtail, where I do weekly tabletop related videos on analysis of systems or different topics, and lore every Wednesday as well. So a lot more content coming. And also on Twitch, where I do a couple of my own streams as well. And thanks for having me again.
Awesome. Yeah. I liked all y'all's faces and I was describing things, and just it was great. Y'all's reactions to everything was my favorite moment tonight. And of course, I'm Laugh Love Lindy, whatever. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube under that name. I play in /GM about a dozen or so tabletop RPGs a week. I'll be DMing Ravenloft in about an hour. I've got a new campaign on my channel on Monday nights that you should check out. I have a beautiful beard in that one. I'm very excited about it. And also, Teenagers from Outer Space. It's a once a month campaign on my channel, and it's this Saturday. And we're going to be playing our characters playing D&D. So you should definitely check it out. It's going to be the most meta thing ever, and I'm super hyped about it. And of course, here next week to find out what happens to Lena on Call of Cthulhu. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that'll be all for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the next show.